Welcome to the Thursday night Man Williams takeover. This is going to be a good show. Make sure as y'all guys come in, y'all hit that like. Aaron might be coming through a little bit later. He's taking care of some stuff, so make sure y'all guys hit that like. Welcome. We also dropped the link into the comments. If anybody want to come up here to have this conversation, we definitely can, but we appreciate y'all guys coming over to the Thursday night Man Williams takeover. It's going to be a good show. What's up, Gabe? How you doing? As we get ready to start the show, we definitely got to give thanks to the person who sponsored the last show, a.k.a. Harrison. He definitely sponsored the last show that Aaron had, so we want to kind of give you your props while you're here. We appreciate y'all guys actually coming over, and we're about to get this thing started really soon. Really soon. So there's a couple things that we're going to talk about tonight, guys. Like I said, as y'all guys come in, make sure y'all hit that like, make sure y'all hit that notification, make sure y'all guys definitely stay fun because we're about to have a good time tonight. So welcome to the show. What's up, brother? How you doing, Grizz? Grizz in the chat. I see you. Just for a little bit. I'm pretty sure I have some people join me shortly, just for a little bit. We're going to say welcome to the show. So, hey guys, how y'all guys doing? I'm Either Man Williams from eithermanwilliams.com. And I just want to tell you guys that tonight is going to be a great show. Hey, within these last 7 days, I love coming over here to Aaron O Show and give us the ability to kind of really see the things that happened this last week. Like I said, we dropped the link in the chat. If you guys want to come up and have a conversation with us, we definitely, it's definitely going to be a good show. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Like I said, I think Aaron O will come through a little bit later, but I'm going to get it rocking on time. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get this show started as we get ready to get this thing started. Let me drop that link in the chat one more time in case anybody want to come over here. It's in the chat. If you want to join the show, hit that StreamYard link so we can have the conversation. And so this week, I actually had some chance, getting some things together, getting some things moving. And I saw some things that was happening in the banking sector. If you're familiar with what's going on in the banking sector right now, put a 1 in the chat, because it's definitely a lot of things going on right now that a lot of people are not familiar with, and we're going to talk about it a little bit. Check it out. Shout out to Grizz. Grizz says, okay, I'm going to drop half a dub on the Either Man. Show me you know how to dress and clean up wine the white. I see you, my brother. Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Definitely. I appreciate the $10 super chat that you definitely brought over here. We appreciate that big time over here on the Aaron O Show.
Gang. CBG in full effect. Tell that little nigga we just dropped the bread. The sniper you waiting outside for that air. My gang sit up, and I know they gon' blast.
Appreciate you. Yes, Grizz, I know how to dress to impress. I be dressing down late at night. I tell people it's late over here. I don't be trying to dress up, but I dress up since I'm doing the solo art. Really, I just put some stuff on that makes sense. Appreciate you that. So let's get into it. I want to actually start with a video. Hey, how you doing, Carmen? Appreciate you stopping by. We're about to get this show started, but I want to talk about some things that's actually going on right now in this actual market. Before we actually get into the main topic here, do anybody know what's going on with Citizens Bank right now? I'm gonna play a pretty quick video real quick. Tell me if y'all guys heard this yet. So let me ask you guys this question. Did y'all know that a bank collapsed? Are y'all familiar with give me 1 second. Are y'all familiar with what's going on in the banking sector right now? I definitely was curious to see if anybody actually have heard of the stuff that's going on in the banking sector right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play this video really quickly, and it's gonna talk a little bit about what's going on in the banking sector right now.
2023 breaking news. We just had another major financial institution collapse. All deposits have been seized by the FDIC. I warned earlier that.
So the FDIC, what we're saying right here is the FDIC have seized all actual funds from Citizens Bank. That means that they have shut down shop. They in a situation where they saying, we taking over your bank. And so I'm gonna play a little bit more of this, because I think the important part that we need to really be talking about right now is that this right here is if I'm not mistaken, it is the 6th bank in America that actually failed. What does that mean? What does it mean? We're going to talk about a little bit as we get ready to start this show. Why are these banks shutting down? What was the reason that Citizen Bank actually shut down? Is this something that we should be paying attention to as we get ready to get things started? Or is it just another bank that's failing? So let's go a little bit deeper into this video so we can figure out what happened with this bank. So I'm gonna press play real quick so we can get a little bit deeper.
I'm receiving hundreds, if not thousands, of messages from my own subscribers saying that they don't have their funds at Bank of America.
Oh, hold on. So this bank actually failing He said my audio sound a little fuzzy. Can y'all guys hear me a little bit better now? Let's make sure I want to make sure that people actually can hear me. Can y'all guys hear me? Is that a little bit better? All right, cool. Let me know if my audio is not better. So the big question that your audio good. Appreciate you, Grizz. A big question that a lot of people had was this right here. Hey, this just Citizen. This is just a little old bank in Idaho that really have nothing to do with us. They only have about, last time I checked, I think like 66 million. It wasn't a lot of money. This small little bank is no way that this bank is actually having any problems that's going to affect the rest of us. Guess what? They affected Bank of America. They not only affect Bank of America, they affected Chase. So the question that you guys start asking yourself is this right here. Why, when these banks are actually failing, why is this trickling down to other banks? We're going to dive into it a little bit different. And let me ask you a question. Should you be nervous? Should you be in a situation where you say, hey, I'm going to pull my money out? I'm about to be in a situation where that I might not be able to get the money. Let's dive a little bit deeper into this video.
Deposits are being delayed. This is a national news breaking story and event. It's been on everything from Fox News, CNN, all kinds of mainstream.
The funny part about it, for people to say that this story is actually so big, it's not so many people actually talking about this story. The thing that's interesting about this, and we're going to dive a little bit deeper in kind of what actually happened, but the thing that a lot of people are not even talking about is I have had conversations today with about 25 people, right? And 25 people, we started talking about this. They had no idea that this happened. So let me give y'all guys a little backstory or actually what is actually going on with this bank. So this bank, you know, when the jab happened, COVID-19 actually happened, one thing that happened that a lot of people are not really familiar with is that the freight industry or the trucking industry, it started booming. You know what? People was like buying toilet papers, they was buying goods, and they could not even keep stuff on their shelf. So a lot of banks, not just Citizen banks, they start doubling down on these trucking industry. They said, we're going to give out loans on trucks because we believe that this is going to continue to go forward, right? And so what happened is now we actually leaving that the trucking industry is not doing too well. So, you know, everybody said they're getting their license, they're going to drive. Let me just give y'all, it's big trucking companies right now laying off about 10,000 plus people. So what we're seeing in that industry right now is something really, really simple, that a lot of these companies that got loans from places like Citizen Bank, they can't deliver and pay on their loans. So the one thing that we're seeing as we continue to go is that with the Citizen Bank, they made a couple bad moves. They made a couple bad moves that they invested on the wrong horse or the wrong dog, and now that industry is about to be right side up. So I want you guys to start really paying attention to what's going on, especially when we start talking about publicly traded companies and different things like that. And another thing is you need to be mindful of where your money's at. I'm not the type of person that's going to tell you where to invest your money or put your money at. That's not what that's about. But if the banks are starting to be able to be belly up, the FDIC is taking over these actual banks. You have to start asking yourself a simple question. You got to ask yourself, why is it so important? Why is it so important for me to be mindful of where my money is at? Because truthfully and honestly, I think that is the key for a person to really be able to, like, so we know the FDIC actually secures some of your money. So some people money is secured. That's not the argument point that we're trying to do. But when it be like, say, for example, your mortgage due, your rent due, and you don't have access to your funds because that bank collapsed, it's going to take you a while to be able to get that money. So I just want y'all guys to be kind of familiar of what's going on in Citizen Bank. Like I said, what we see is they collapsed. The FDIC took over it. They said, hey, check this out. We closing y'all doors. And a lot of people that I talked to today, they had no idea that this happened. So again, like I said, if you guys want to join the panel, we're going to have a great conversation. I just dropped the StreamYard link in the link. So if you want to have the conversation, I definitely want you to definitely come up. But I want to start having this conversation because I had a chance. I was at this place today, and I had a chance to have a conversation with a group of people, and we was talking about who should your children have a say so in where they live. Should your children have a say so to say, hey, I want to live with mommy, I want to live with daddy? Or do you believe that your kids are not wise enough to be able to have that conversation? So let me ask you a question. If you believe that your kids should have a say so in where they should actually supposed to live, I want you guys to put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys believe that your kids should have the right to say what parent they want to live with. If you feel that your kids should not have the right to be able to choose where they stay at, I want you guys to put a 2 in the chat. I want you guys to put 2 in the chat. So let me give you an example. If your baby girl, say for the women that's in the chat, if your baby girl come to you and say, hey, you know what? I want to go live with daddy. I want to go live full time with daddy. I want to be able to spend time with daddy. And let's go ahead and put it out there. Daddy is actually open to say, yes, the baby can come stay with me. So if your child is asking you a question, hey, I want to be able to come live with my father, should women or men, vice versa, whatever it is, if your child want to go live with the other parent and they're currently living with you, should you take that in consideration? Should you take it in consideration? Should you be like, hey, you know what, this person do have some say so on how they can be raised? I want you guys to answer that question because I'm gonna play a video for you guys, and as I actually play this video, I'm curious to see what you guys think about where they supposed to. So we got one person right here. She said, "Get them kids to their daddy." Bella say, "Give them kids to their daddy. If they want to live with their daddy, let them go live with their daddy." Well, it depends, Bella. Hey, Bella, if child support is involved, you know, some people ain't about to give up that check, especially if it's a good check. So are we actually moving in the best interest of our kids? Are we, you know, I hear so many people saying that I want to be happy. Are we making decisions to see what makes our kids happy or put our kids in the best situation? Because as we get into this live, some people say that their kids don't have no say so. They say, hey, you do as I say. I don't care if you're happy. I don't care if you're uncomfortable. You just do what I say. And as we dive deeper into this subject, truthfully and honestly, we're going to see how selfish a lot of you people really are. Are y'all guys selfish? Or are y'all worried about the money? Cameron says that the children is not a check. I don't think everybody believes that. I think that's a good point that you think, but some people look at their kids as a check. They say that my kids is a check. Matter of fact, they bills would not get paid if they did not, if they baby daddy wasn't paying that child support. I know a lot of people think that's crazy, but some people look at their kids as a check. So let's dive a little bit deeper. I want to play a video, and I'm curious to see what you guys truthfully and honestly think about this video. So let me add this to stage right, and I'm gonna play this video real quick.
Kim K opened up to her sister Courtney about Northwest preferring to be at her dance house. This is the audio we have.
So first of all, this is Kim K. I don't know if you know about Kim K and Kanye. So what's going on with Kim K and Kanye is that Kim K in this audio is opening up and she's saying, hey, this is how North feel. This is what North want to be at. This is what, and this is what's happening as they get ready to open up, is how they feel that happens. So let me ask you a question. When it comes down to people that's billionaire, let's pull this up first. Kanye West is currently paying about $200,000 a month in child support. So let me ask you a question. The ladies in the chat, especially you, Karma, you said that a child should not be a paycheck, right? That paycheck should not matter, right? So if we really looking at that $200,000 that she's currently paid, do we believe, honestly, that $200,000 should, like, that is not a paycheck? Do we believe that somebody paying about $2.5 million that is not a paycheck when we talk about it? I know people say, well, that's a celebrity. All right, cool. She said she don't believe in child support. All right. So let's play this video. I want to dive into this video because I truthfully and honestly want to hear what you guys think about this video. Let's press play real quick.
North, she'll go to her dad. She'll be like, Dad is the best. He has it all figured out. He doesn't have a nanny. He doesn't.
Dad is the best. He got it all figured out. He ain't got no nanny. It sounds like she's really enjoying the time that she spent with her daddy. Let's dive a little bit deeper into it so we can be able to have a better understanding of what's going on with baby North.
He doesn't have a chef. He doesn't have security. He lives in an apartment, and she'll start crying. Why don't you have an apartment? I can't believe we don't have an apartment. Your house sucks. We make our own food. That's amazing that you make ramen, you know? Like,
Hold on. She said that's amazing. It sounds like, in my opinion, it sounds like a little Kim Kardashian is a little salty that North is like spending time with Kanye West. Because Kanye, it sounds like Kanye ain't got all the maids, they ain't got all the chefs. What he's doing is he's spending this thing called quality time. J Hub's 100% right. Sounds like she's jealous. She's jealous of what's going on. This is 100% right. And so the question that I'm asking y'all, if your child come to you kind of like baby North is, baby North is actually coming to her mother and saying, man, I have such an amazing time when I'm at my dad house. I know dad got that little apartment because he giving you $200,000 a month for my child support, and he might can't afford some big place. But I'm telling you, the one thing that I love is that I get a chance to sit down with my dad, and I don't care if we eating peanut butter jelly sandwich. I'm happy that I'm actually having a chance to do it with him. Should Kim Kardashian swallow her pride and say, hey, you know what? It might be better for my daughter to have this fulfillment, have this happiness, and she be with her dad for the most of the time. Like I said, if you guys want to join the conversation, I just dropped that StreamYard link where we can have this conversation. But in reality, what it comes down to is, as we start looking into it, is it wrong for the guardian parent to really consider where would the child be the most happy and get the most fulfillment at? See, Grizz is 100% right. Children value relationships over all else. They love the quality time. He's 100% right. And then it don't matter what her mother can buy her with the money. The one thing that we're seeing that she is appreciating the time that they're able to kind of spend together. The question is, why do you believe that Kim had to talk about those noodles with her daughters? If you enjoy making ramen noodles, why do we believe? Because I think she took a shot. It'd be different if she took a shot at Kanye. This is her daughter, and she's taking a shot at her daughter about her father. So let me know in the chat, do y'all guys actually agree with that type of behavior? Somebody actually taking a shot directly through the child about their parents? why didn't they use that moment as a time to celebrate? Why should say, man, you know what? I'm really happy that you enjoying this time that you're spending with your daddy. I'm really happy that your daddy is a very, very busy person. But throughout his busy schedule with all the things that he got going on, I really just appreciate him making you a primary focus when you go over there. Why can't people that leave each other after divorce? I don't actually believe in divorce, but why don't when people leave each other after divorce, they don't be in a situation where they can say, you know what? Hey, I was 100% wrong. Or hey, I'm happy. Why can't you be happy for your child? That's the question that I really want to have. So as we start looking into it, based on all the information that y'all guys had a chance to download, just drop the link in the chat if you guys want to join this conversation. Who should the child live with? Should the child live with the mama or should the child live with the daddy? The question that I'm going to ask you guys, does it really matter? And should we consider what would be best for the child? And do y'all guys believe at any point in time, it is a good idea for that? So give me 1 second.
It's me,
Hey,
but
I got you. I'll just make sure.
My camera's not working.
That's cool.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, how you doing today?
I'm good. I had a nice day today.
You had a good day today. So you see what we're talking about. We're talking about children being able to be a part of the decision making on where they should be able to be. So Carmen, let me ask you this question. Do you believe that we should actually kind of consider where the child wants to be at when we start thinking about parenting?
Yes, you should.
All right. And so based off your opinion, how do you believe that, what do you feel like that looks like? So should we sit down and have a conversation, or what should we be doing to be able to help them be a part of this decision making?
So my personal belief is say your kid is it really low key starts at 3rd grade. I don't know why. I just feel like that's a safe age when you feel like your child is safe to get home from school off the bus. I think that when your kid gets out of school, they should be able to get on either bus they want to take them to either parent's house. Offer it. And then so say one day they be like, you know what, I spend a lot of time at my dad's house. I always go there after school. Can I go stay with my dad? Yeah, that's fine. I don't even think it should be like a question for as long as the parent provides a safe environment for the child. I don't see what the issue is with them choosing who they want to live with. It ain't like they Xing you out their life. They're just going where they prefer to be at.
So based on what you said, a 3rd grader is somewhere between 8 and 9, right?
Yeah, like once you're safe enough to walk home from school.
Okay.
Yeah, basically.
All right, so around an 8 or 9-year-old should be able to come to their parents and says, hey, I want to live primarily with my father. I want to live primarily with my dad, right? So
as long as they're providing a safe living environment, there shouldn't be an issue.
So why do you believe that Kim Kardashian was talking a little bit about the if you happy making ramen noodles? What do you feel that was about?
She bitter. I just said that in the chat. She's bitter. Any parent, especially, I talk a lot of shit on Facebook, but if there's a lot of bitter women out there who dwell in bitterness, and that is bitter bitch activity. Your kid.
So you believe
yeah, that's just bitter to me. There's no other explanation. You just mad. I don't care what happened. I don't care who making money. You're still bitter.
So, but my question I want to ask you is, why would a parent be bitter that someone else is happy?
Because why would they not be? Especially like some people. Hold on, let me finish. Especially like some people who feel like they are quote unquote better. People who feel like they've been done quote unquote wrong. People who feel like they're entitled. People who feel like they're always right. They're always going to find the reason to be bitter. They don't care about the other person's happiness because they are entitled. They for every reason I just said before. They don't necessarily care. It's their show.
Hey, I got you. Hey, Gabe, are you there?
Yep. It's me.
Hey, brother.
What's up, man?
Nothing much. So I got a question, man, because I would be lying, Gabe, if I could tell you that this didn't bother me, right? When I was watching this clip today, I saw him say, because truthfully and honestly, I didn't know what I was going to talk about, and then I was just going through TikTok, right? And then when I saw her say, hey, her dad, she's happy with the simple things, spending the quality time, making the ramen noodles or the peanut butter jelly sandwich. Why do you feel that Kim Kardashian is not open to doing what's best for her child? Do you think it's ego?
I don't know if it's necessarily ego, right?
Okay.
I think that the child's input or the child's preference should be considered, but I don't think that needs to be the only consideration. So I heard that, right? I heard the thing that you played and heard what other people have said about it, but I think that there's a safety concern too, right? I think that, the child should have some input, but if the other parent is not safe or if the other parent is not, I guess, consistent in their parenting, then I do think that the more stable parent needs to take on the burden of the living responsibility for the child. I mean, Kanye is known to have bipolar disorder, to do very erratic things. He could be here one day, be somewhere a different day, running for president and saying all types of things. So I don't know.
So let me ask you a question. I'm glad you said that. So do you believe that bipolar people are not fit to be parents?
No, I wouldn't say that. But I would say that might be a consideration in this case between Kim Kardashian and Kanye. He seems to be unstable at times. Like, I'm not making any assumptions. I'm just going based upon what they've talked about, or he's even talked about with himself, having outbreaks and backlashes and all types of crazy stuff.
Gabe, I believe that it's times in your life that you get angry. I believe it's times that you get frustrated. I think the difference between you and Kanye, and this is no shot, is that Kanye typically have a camera on him 24/7. So we get a glimpse in his life all the time. But I don't think him upset about his divorce, trying to keep his families together, angry about, not being able to walk out his house with somebody putting a camera in front of his face. I think those are normal type reactions. Are you stating that you believe that that's abnormal if somebody always have a camera in their face?
I think Kanye is known to be abnormal. Yeah. I think he is known to be abnormal and have abnormal outbreaks about things.
And
right?
do you believe the child support weigh any weight to Kim's decision of whether she want to keep full custody of the child?
I don't think she's relying on child support for any of her financial needs. I think $200K is probably like a monthly bill or something for her, right? These are multi-millionaires. These aren't,
So you believe that North is spending $200K to support a child's lifestyle?
No, I'm saying Kim Kardashian probably wipes her behind with $200K. It's not anything life changing for her. She's not like, I'm keeping the kids so I can get my $200K a month. I doubt it.
She
just signed a contract with for Skims with the NBA. That's
I watched
several
Keeping
million.
Kardashians.
Yeah.
I said, so do you believe that it's a possibility that you make too much money where you should not get child support?
I don't know that. You got to take that up with the law. You got to take that up with the courts.
I know, but I want to know Gabe's opinion. If I was a billionaire, do you believe that I should be able to get child support?
I don't know. No idea. I haven't really put too much thought into it. I don't really like making like those strong answers on the fly. I think I have to put some more thought into it.
So what I want to do is I want to play this video because I believe this is a lot of mothers' fear. I want to play this video real quick.
I had an attitude and now I'm annoyed with you.
Same difference. Go.
But you fail to remember is that no matter how many times you sleep with this man, you're not blood related to him. If this man needed a kidney or a blood transfusion, who would they ask? Me.
You don't have to be blood related to. Who needs enemies when you have daughters?
I'm just saying, like, you created children, but like you're never gonna be related to him. You're married to him. If you sign a piece of paper, you guys wouldn't have to be in each other's lives anymore. I will always be in his life because I'm a piece of it.
So, Gabe, let me ask you this question. Do we see our children as a piece of us and not our wives?
I wouldn't say that. I would say that my wife and my children are a part of me. So biologically, yeah, right. Your biology is within your child. It's not within your wife, or the woman is not within the husband. But I think life-wise, I mean, I think both are a part of you.
So help me understand how your wife is a part of you.
It's a person that she is a person that I've decided to make a part of the rest of my life. Not only as a business partner, right? Share finances, we share insurance plans, we share a bed, we share children. I don't know. We share love. I don't know if people believe in that no more, but I think that definitely binds us just as much as if someone was biologically a part of us.
And do you have a? Let me ask Carmen. Carmen,
yeah, I'm about to say, man, pass the mic, man. Stop putting me in the hot seat. You got me in a hot seat,
you in the corner.
I know, right? He's trying to.
My bad, Gabe. But Carmen, let me ask you this question. I was trying to understand Gabe's mindset. That's why I was asking those questions. Do you feel like it's a problem with a daughter saying something like this to her mother?
I mean, not really. The sleep with them part, I mean, that was a little weird, just from my personal point of view. But I mean, she ain't lying though. If he needed a kidney, that's who they're gonna ask. Like, he's a piece
Carmen, that's
of
how
her.
you be talking to your mom. Carmen,
Yeah,
that's how Carmen be talking to her mom.
Yeah, I just feel like the sleeping with part just gave incest. It just gave weird vibes to me. I just didn't. I didn't agree with that part. But I mean,
go ahead.
I mean, everything else though, it's like, this my daddy. I'm his daughter. There's nothing you can do about it. When my mom make me mad, I'd be like, "This is why I'm my daddy's daughter," and then I hang up on her.
Carmen be standing behind her dad, taking shots at her mom. That's how Carmen talk to everybody. That's how she do.
I mean, I don't do that, but like I said, like I had got mad at my family, and I was like, you know what? It's okay because I'm a Harris anyway. How about that?
This ain't your last name. I ain't taking your maiden name. Yeah.
So Carmen, I guess the question that I'm asking, that I'm trying to get kind of like an understanding of, right? So when it comes down to a child being truthful to a parent, what is the limits of the truth that a child can say?
People can't handle the truth. For one. So why put a limit on it if you're not going to be able to handle it any motherfucking way?
So are you saying that children should not be honest with their parents because people can't handle the truth anyways?
I'm saying if you're not going to handle it anyway, so I might as well just tell you the truth. Why sit up here and lie? Honest communication is a lot. People who don't feel like they can be honest with their parent, even okay, because I'm a new mom. I just had my babies on the 1st
of November.
Yep.
Man, that's my daughter's birthday too.
So I said congratulations. Actually, my daughter is born on the 27th of last year, so we just getting to that 1 year mark. So congratulations.
It's November. Why we all conceiving and having kids in November?
They were due in December, so they came early. So right now they're in the NICU. But I mean they're twins, so yeah, they usually come early.
I think what you have to look at is the reason that we have kids in November is because if we go back 9 months from November is Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
It just means you had a good Valentine's Day.
Yeah, that's our anniversary. So yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So Carmen, since you a new mother, do you actually have I don't want to call it a fear, but would you have a problem with your daughter being more connected to?
I have 2 boys.
Okay. So your boys, would you have a problem with your boys being more connected to their father than you?
No, because I even told this man, I said, I always had, like, I'm 26, so I always had a strong belief about, especially boys with their dad. Like, at a certain age, you go live with him. If we're not still together, you need to go live with your dad. Because for real, you ain't gonna be complaining, talking about my mom fucked me up. No, you're not. You can go live with your dad, and mommy's still here, but you're not gonna be able to blame me for shit. No, you're not gonna be able to do that.
So I think that there's something missing too, though, right? With the daughter. Because the daughter was saying, like, hey, I'm gonna always be in his life, but it's the same way with the mom too. She's also a part of the mom.
Is that really her birth mom? Like, I don't know.
It might not be her birth mom. That's
what I was thinking. Like,
a good point.
Her real mother? Because I was thinking the same thing. Like, isn't your mom going to always be in your life too?
Well, I look at it as I believe that with daughters, their first love is literally their first love is their dad.
Yeah.
And if we really understand how things go, we know that women don't like sharing with other women. So you believe that this is my first love, why does she have to share it with her mama?
See, but it's just flawed because don't you think that biologically the daughter is more a part of the dad than the wife, but the wife and the father, or the mother and the father, created a life. Don't you think that kind of binds you a bit? Don't you think that kind of brings you a bit close? Like,
be like a little egg. You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for
exactly.
I love.
How do you try to remove the mom from that because she's not biologically a part of the dad? Like, nah, we created life. You be because of us.
Well, if Lifegate was created in marriage all the time, I would agree with that. But life can be created in one night stand. Are you saying that those two are binded together? Somebody that you skeeted in after the club?
I mean, it seems like they still. I'm trying to take that one scenario, right? It seems like they still are in close relation to each other. It don't seem like. Well, I don't know. I'm just making assumptions here because it could have been an oops, baby. I'm making assumptions.
So let me ask Carmen this: do you believe that the daddy should have said something to the daughter when he was talking to the mother, when the daughter was talking to the mother that way?
Let me counteract and ask you this: what was he about to say?
I'm asking. I want to know. What do you think that he did good by staying out of the crossfires?
No, I feel like he did the right thing by not saying nothing, because you know what? That could have been an argument waiting to happen. So just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Nah. I'm standing. Listen, I'm standing up for my wife.
You, Gabe. What would you have said?
I'm be like, hey,
I don't know what the fuck I would have said. I don't know.
Let me tell you what I would say. I'd be like, hold up, because I done known your mom longer than you. We chose to have you. You're not about to be sitting up here trying to like pull some rank on her because you biologically a part of me. Me and her chose to spend our lives together. And we chose to raise you until you are an adult and you're gonna start your own life. Me and her gonna be together longer, right? Overall timing than we are with you. So you know, I listen, I stand up for my wife because I can't be having that. Because I gotta go back to the bed where we're spending life together. We're just raising the dog.
That's why I said I can't answer this. You better ask the man. I don't know. Shit.
It sounds like Gabe trying to make sure he gets some that night. He worried. See, Gabe worried about himself. This is what I hear Gabe say. Gabe said that I gotta go to bed.
No, Gabe said he's standing on his wife. Okay, Gabe said he telling his daughter, "Hey, look, I knew her longer than you, and I'm gonna know her more than you."
Yeah,
I agree, Gabe.
I'm standing on our marriage. I'm standing on that.
Standing on
that.
Gabe, I think it sounds good, but I think that especially daughters have a special place in their dad's heart. And I know how you like all combative in saying this. I don't think a lot of men talk to their daughters that way.
Man, we got to, because it's like you're allowing the daughter to rank over your wife if you allow her to talk any way to your wife, right? She got to respect both of us. Me and the wife are a team. We're the team.
Oh, that's a good question. So you believe, based off what you're saying, that she was actually disrespecting her mother in that moment?
I think she did overstep. Let me tell you what I'm gonna do. Something that I didn't see in the video. It just showed one view. It showed the dad and the daughter. If I'm sitting there and I'm looking at my wife, I could tell by her body language if she's uncomfortable, if she feels disrespected or not. I need to see how my wife is responding. If she's just laughing it off, I might go what Carmen was saying. I might chill. But if she's fine, if I'm seeing that she's disrespect or feeling disrespected, I'm gonna have to step in.
Oh, so I get it now, Gabe. Gabe, what you saying is that you gonna pull a Will Smith. Because Will Smith, when Will Smith got a hold on, let me tell you what I'm talking about first.
Yeah, not you compare him to Will Smith.
This family business.
Hold on, wait, guys. I'm just gonna tell you what I heard, and I'm open to the thing that I'm wrong, right? I might be wrong, right? But Will Smith was laughing at Chris Rock's jokes, right? He was laughing, he was having a good time. He was like, "Yeah, this is a good joke." He looked over there to Jada, and Jada said, "Hey, you need to do something." Will Smith changed his whole mindset and said, "I got to go defend my wife." He walked on stage and he slapped him. So do you support what Will Smith did, or are you saying that Will Smith was wrong? Because his wife definitely co-signed. I don't care what she's talking about now, Gabe. She co-signed that she wanted to get.
Now he's trying to make you defend Will Smith.
Hey, Jack, right. Again, he keep me in his hot seat. He keep turning the heat up. I think it's a big difference between me representing my family in public and dealing with family business. The situation that we're talking about right now is family business. This is all internal. Now, that situation with Will Smith, that's external. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the internal family business dynamics. So
I get it, Gabe.
Let's keep it there.
I get it, Gabe. Gabe said that he got this energy for his 12-year-old daughter. Hold on, listen.
That girl about 20. No, that girl about 20. Come on.
I love Gabe because Gabe's such a great sport. But he said that, hey, if a 12-year-old girl talk to my wife like this, I'm going to have this pookie energy. But if I'm out in public and it's a grown man, I'm not going to react that way. Come on, Gabe.
I'm not saying that at all.
You're the wrong thing, Gabe. Gabe,
I'm not saying that.
You see how you just make that narrative?
He's right. The gaslight is just
that was beautiful. That was beautiful.
You know I'm not saying. Listen, I'm not saying that. Carmen, you know I'm not saying that. The audience, the chat knows I'm not saying that. I'm not even gonna respond. Listen, I'm not even gonna give credence to that by responding. I'm gonna leave it there. Let's play
it again. This time, I know y'all was listening to the daughter, but I want y'all guys to do this time. I want y'all guys to really look at the father. Like, pay attention. Like, still listen to what the daughter is saying. I want you to look at the father because the daughter's not looking at the mother. She's giving her father all this type of attention. It almost looked like she's boosting the father head up. But
but I'm understanding what Carmen's saying because even just that look, the way the daughter is looking at the father, it's a little weird.
I mean, and that's why I feel like it was a little disrespectful, especially the whole I don't care how many times you sleep with him. Like in my head, I'm like, this got to be a stepmom.
Yeah.
This what I think is going on. The daughter want to get these new Yeezys that just came out, and she said, "I got to butter my daddy up." This is what I think. I think she
So you saying the love ain't even real? You saying she really just wants some new shoes?
I got you. Yep. I was saying that she about to ask her daddy for something, but she said, "I need to make him feel good." Let's play the video one more time, and I want y'all to really look at his expression in this video.
Yeah.
It's muted.
Hold on one second. I think it's muted. Yep.
Uh-huh.
But look at that daddy. Look at that dad. Look at that Kool-Aid smile that he got. He said, "I'm proud to be her daddy."
Same difference. Go.
What you fail to remember is that no matter how many times you sleep with this man, you're not blood related to him. If this man needed a kidney or a blood transfusion, who would they ask? Me.
You don't have to be blood related to
Who needs enemies when you have daughters?
I'm just saying, like.
She said, "Hello, who need enemies when you have daughters?"
Yeah, I'm gonna have to step in. I'm gonna have to step in.
Comfortable though, like, he I don't know.
Yes,
he looked like he did want to say something, Gabe, a little bit, but
yeah, because he put that head down. He kind of tried to shrug it off.
You know, she looking at him. He ain't even looking at her.
Right. It's like they rehearsed this, right? Look.
You heard her say 1, 2, 3,
here come part 2.
Go.
Yeah, they talked about this before.
I don't think they rehearsed it. I'm actually disagree with you. Like,
no, she said, "Let's go," and she didn't play.
This time, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually pause it, right?
Okay.
Because I want you to see when the father face kind of changes and kind of go to the next level. Hold on one second. I'm gonna pull this back up. Boom. Now I want y'all to look, and I'm gonna stop it.
Same difference. Go.
What you fail to remember is that no matter how many times you sleep with this man, you're not blood related to him. If this man,
ooh, look at that. That man closed. Look at his eyes. I don't know if I can zone in for y'all guys to see. His eyes is closed so tight. Look how like he is closed. Like we'll understand it, even though the smile is still on his face.
Yeah.
How his eyes is closed. It's like, dang, that's a shot. So he know that a shot was shot right there. Let's go a little bit farther in this video.
Needed a kidney or a blood transfusion, who would they ask? Me.
Look at those eyebrows go up. I don't know if y'all seen it, but when them eyebrows went up, you're like, she actually got a point. And Gabe, I actually think he's doing exactly what you're saying that he should do. You said that you're supposed to have different energy in public than you have when no one else is around. So they are on Instagram. He understands that he's going to be
nah, he don't know. He has no idea that he's going on Instagram. He had no idea he's about to go on Instagram
so
and
you
go
admit
viral.
that this was rehearsed.
I wouldn't say that it's rehearsed. I think
So you admit that it was planned.
No, I think this is what I think. I think that he knows that he have a young child, and the young childs, they record a lot of things.
You know, recording is the mom recording.
But that's the point.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I'm about to say I think it's two ladies there. It might be an aunt or somebody else, and then it's the mom or stepmom. So somebody doing the recording, somebody else is on the left. I think the stepmom is on or something. So there's multiple parties in there. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
And let's play a little bit more.
You don't have to be blood related to
Who needs enemies when you have daughters?
I'm just saying, like, you created children, but like, you're never gonna be related to him. You're married to him. If you sign a piece of paper, you guys wouldn't have to be in each other's lives anymore. I will always be in his life because I'm a piece of him.
Wow.
Wow.
They share children. They
Wow.
will always be in each other's lives. I don't. They
Nah,
share kids.
there's
I'm
gonna come a
not.
time where you want your daughter or your son to go and live their own lives. Sure, they'll always be in your lives, but I ain't about to be like, yeah, I don't know. That's a little different.
Mm. So the thing, but I think she actually telling some truth there.
Mhm.
If a man want to get away from a woman that he's married with, it's a piece of paper that gives him the ability to get away. It's really nothing that really gives you the ability to get away from your children. Even the government says that you ain't gonna be able to get away from your kids, especially at
Yeah,
least
they
into
do.
the age of 18.
I was about to say 18. 18 says it. That's what the
But
government.
I mean,
their
I'm not.
freedom plate.
Y'all don't think that people who share kids is like they always are going to have to deal with each other?
No, I don't think so. Like, I think mature people who have kids deal with each other, but it's plenty
Like
stories.
that in there.
Well,
The
I
reason
think
I say that is I know there's a lot of people who shot up the club one night after the club. They got with this shit, shot up the club. She got pregnant and never saw her again. That's a realistic thing. So just because I procreate with you does not mean that I have to deal with you.
legally though, I guess it's the guardian that's most responsible, because you do have legal responsibilities for the child in grade school. Like you got to make sure they go to school till 15 or 16 or something.
Yep.
And if both parents are legal guardians, then they both have to deal with each other. So I don't know.
But
There's so many different scenarios that is difficult for you to just say, like, yes, this is what it is. But yeah, go ahead.
But Gabe, I would argue that women today don't even want kids.
That's a fact.
So when they have,
well, let me not ask no questions.
That's a fact.
So when they do have kids, what is proven is that they just having kids for us, Gabe. What you think about that? Do you believe that women really don't want kids nowadays? They just having kids for the dudes that they with?
I think that less women want kids these days, and it shows. I think just the birth rate is decreasing overall. So yeah, I do think less women want kids, and I think less men want kids too. A lot of dudes just want to be right. It's all these movements, these passport bro movements, these dudes who just want to be players for life.
I think that's where you're wrong, because even the passport guys, they want to go over and get foreign women to have their kids.
They want to go over and get foreign women.
Passport dudes was going over there to get wives, and
they not. You know that the vast majority of passport bros are just going over there to smash and come back home.
So shout out to you, Peter Investor. Hey, Peter Investor, tell me what you think about the Citizen Bank crash, and I'm curious to know what you think about that. So tell us in the chat what you think about that. But I want to play a video for y'all guys. Let's play this video real quick to see what women really think about having kids.
About a topic that could be controversial, but oh well. No, I cannot stand those people that make you feel guilty for not wanting kids. They're like,
do you believe that it's a community of people that actually make you feel guilty for not wanting kids?
There is, because I didn't want kids before, and as soon as I would say that, they'd be like, "Oh, well, you know, the ones who say they don't want kids have the most," or "Oh, it's the most beautiful blessing in the world. How could you not want kids?"
Yeah, and I think another one of those groups are the Gen Xers, the Boomers, right? The older generation.
Older people.
That is that group of
individuals. I was telling them I don't want kids. They look at me like I just said I just killed 4 people. You don't want kids?
Yep.
Well, I think the
church mothers.
I think the biggest influence of people that want you to have kids, especially for men, I can't speak for women, are your parents. I remember
Yeah.
I was approaching when I was getting ready to approach 30. My mom was like, "You ain't gonna give me no grandkids." Like she started asking this questions like she really wanted to be a grandparent. So
Yeah.
do you believe that parents are more obsessed with having grandkids than the parents actually want to have kids?
Yes.
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 My
Mm,
mom said the same
Yeah.
thing to me and my sister.
mm.
We've literally changed, like our my wife's mom is literally now living with us pretty much because she is so obsessed with her little granddaughter. Like not in a bad way, right? This is super helpful, right? Almost having a live-in nanny, but she's the mother of my wife, so it's dope. So, but I absolutely agree with what you're saying. The parents are the ones who really drive that.
All right, let's play it a little bit more.
Like, oh my God, how dare you not want to have kids? Like, you're so selfish. You know how many women on this earth cannot have kids? You bitch.
That's
Like,
one.
how
So, do you believe when a person say they don't want to have kids, are they being selfish?
No.
No.
No, they're not being selfish. Some people know that they probably ain't fit to be a parent right now.
There
Or
you
I used
go.
to tell people I don't want no kids right now because I'm selfish. I don't like sharing my shit.
So,
I think some of the most responsible people are the people who don't want to have kids and don't have them. Those are some of the most responsible people out there because
Mhm.
they know that
They know.
they already know. Why would you have kids and you're not ready, or why would you have kids and you don't? Well, to ask the question is to answer it, but a lot of people don't. Yeah.
Gabe, the question that I asked you is
Yeah.
because Carmen said something really simple. She said, "Hey, I didn't want kids, but I had kids anyway." So I think the question would be, did you plan for your kids?
Me?
No, he talking about me.
Oh, okay.
Yes and no. Yes, because I knew what I was doing when I was doing it and the time of the month I was doing it in. So yes. And then two, I'm 26 now. I done changed my perspective on if I wanted kids or not. I always said if I'm having kids, I'm having kids at 26 or 27. I'm not having kids after 28 because I'm not about to be nobody's old ass mom.
Why you got to be old if you had kids at 28?
I'm gonna tell you why.
Why?
So I would be 28 with one kid, right? So then say by 30, I wanted another one.
Yeah.
In my brain, that's going to be not necessarily too late, but these kids is bad as hell nowadays. Not saying mine will be, but they are. These kids is bad. I need to be able to get up out my bed and take care of business. I can't do
Get
that.
up and take care of a kid at 30. You can do that.
Yeah.
Okay, at 30, your kid will be 0 years old. Okay,
Yeah.
about time they get to being with their friends, they'll be about 15. That's 15 years after you're 30.
45.
Two different generations.
45.
That's a little.
Well, I think Carmen, I think that's the problem is when you and your kids is in the same generation and y'all want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in the same spots that my kids want to be at. I'm okay with me saying that I'm 45 and you 15. I should not even be in the same circles as you. So
exactly.
I mean, for 2023, like a 45-year-old and a 15-year-old child is very, very normal, right? People are having kids later. I'm not saying that you made a mistake or anything, but a lot of times it is the norm.
But I get that, but that's just not how my brain works. And I don't knock nobody for having kids after a certain age. It's just for me in my life.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to have no kids after 28. If I ain't had no kids after 28, I just wasn't having kids, period.
Got it. So it's a little bit different for us, either man. So me and my wife, we were very intentional about having kids. So we were married 6.5 years before we had our first child. So we got married. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I say, yeah. So you said that you planned it out, right? Do you believe that that was more of you or it was more of your wife, or you feel like it was a group decision?
It was a group decision. Literally, one of our milestones for before having kids was to finish our schooling, all schooling. So I had finished my master's in like when did I finish? In like a March of I think 2021. No, March or May, like one of those. My wife finished in December of 2021, her master's, and then we started and then she was pregnant by February the following year. So you know, we were like, we want to do this and get that out the way. Yeah.
So that's one thing. That's one thing that I think kids are in a better situation if you typically plan them, and kids are in a worse situation if they're considered an accident. Like, because I'm pretty sure that before you had kids, you was like saving up for the kids, and you putting your like. So I think the parents that think about their kids, and because mine was 100% planned. Me and my wife was actually married for 4 years. I mean, I'm sorry, we was married for 2 years before we had kids. We dated 2 years, so we was together 4 years before kids happened. And like we planned the kids almost to the T. We said we gonna have a child, and my wife had already knew that we were going back to back. So I said we have 2 kids, and our kids are literally 9 months apart. That was kind of our plan.
We the same way because so our daughter just turned 1, and my wife is 5 months pregnant. Again, so what is it? So between November and March, because the baby's due in March, so you know it's just like a year and a couple months. So
I don't think you should have one kid. I don't think you should have one kid. Now I know some people really like having one kid, and they feel like that. I just don't think you should. Shout out to Peter Investor.
Why you don't think people should have just one kid?
I'm about to explain it to you, but first of all, shout out to Peter Investor, $5. I seen your last chat. Definitely watch the first half of that video, because when that bank collapsed because of the trucking industry, I thought that was very interesting. And since we done had 6 banks that done crashed in 2023, I don't understand why we're not talking about it. But that's a whole nother conversation. It takes a lot of attention from one child, right? So when you got one child, it's one child. The only child syndrome is a real thing, right? So when you got one child, when you go to the playground, they want you to play with them at the playground. They like. I think one child. People that typically have one child, they have a higher chance of being an introvert. You typically gonna see multiple children as that introvert. They understand how to function with others. I just think you should have multiple kids. Not saying that I'm right, Carmen. I just believe you should have multiple kids.
It's a preference.
I mean, I just was wondering. I mean, I don't know. I know, like y'all talking about back to back. I ain't having no kids back to back, and I'm already up 2. So
yeah, I was just about to say you had 2, so your system needs some time to reheal. Right after the
I don't even know if I even want to have. I think I'm 2 and done. I'd love a 2-for-1 deal.
Well, I think it's good. The good feeling is I feel like I'm getting all my kids out of diapers at the same time. So like, you know, I got a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old, right? So it's like it's literally one of those things that I feel are happening simultaneously. My second child, I'm so much more prepared because I know everything that's coming. It's a lot of things I didn't know that was coming with my first child, but now it's like I'm rolling. You know, I kind of know what's gonna happen. I know
that experience.
Yeah, so I just think that kids should grow up with someone, but I could be wrong. Maybe one child. The one thing that is proven, I was looking at the person that have one child, they have more stamps in their passports than most grown adults. Because they take that child everywhere. That child be every single way. You want to go to Egypt? It's a lot different planning one ticket versus 2.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, no. My also reasoning is now I'm terrified that I'm gonna have 2 more kids. So yeah.
Are you a twin yourself?
No, this shit just came out of nowhere. So now I'm just I'm cool. I'm cool. And everybody keeps telling me, you're gonna want a daughter. And I tell them I don't gamble. Okay. You don't know what you're gonna have. Only thing you know is you're gonna have that baby.
So my wife is actually done, right? She's in a situation, she said she's done having kids, but that's one thing that I wish that I had. I wish I had a son. So I have daughters. All of my kids are daughters.
Man, you gamble? You a gambler?
I would say I gamble. Yeah.
Okay.
The reason I say that is that anybody I believe that deals in the stock market gambles.
Oh, that's true. That is true. That's true.
Now I know a lot of people won't consider it, but it's definitely gambling in my opinion. Like
it is gambling.
I mean, there's some predictability there, right? From history and
I'm saying it's some predictability with 52 cars.
No, I agree with you, man. I think it because you never know what's going to happen the next day. Like
If
you
you
talking
don't-
about wasn't right now. Like, what if you was invested in that bank?
Yeah, so I like so when people say gambling, you know, I look at it a little bit different. I think that everybody, matter of fact, anybody who ever created a real portfolio have took some risk, especially if you shorten is gambling. You know, yes, it's certain things in the market is definitely gambling. So I would say that, but it all depends on how you look at it. What's up, Easy? Appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate you actually stopping by. But I want to get back into this video, guys, because I'm curious to see why she is actually painting this picture that a lot of us overreacting. They don't have to have no kids. They don't have to do those things. Let's play.
How dare you? Excuse me. Let's unpack this. So you expect me to go on and have a kid just to please all these people that I don't know because they can't have kids. So you want me to be.
So do you believe that if a woman feel that other people cannot have kids, that she should have kids because she's blessed to have kids? That's an interesting take that she said.
There's a billion babies in the adoption center. You better go get you one.
So let me ask you that, Carmen. Do you believe adopting a baby and having a baby is the same thing?
I don't agree, but I feel like it's going. I don't agree. It is the exact same thing, but it's the same thing. If you know what I mean, like it didn't come out of you, but you're still loving it. You still caring for it. You still being a mother to it. Well, to them, not to it, because it's to them. So, if you want a kid so bad, you can go get you one.
I don't think men think that way, but maybe I'm wrong. So, Gabe, do you feel like if you was taking care of somebody you would adopt versus someone that had your bloodline, do you think that you would feel the same?
I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know because even looking at that other video with the daughter who obviously was the father's biological daughter, they seem to have a degree of closeness. Not saying I want that, but I don't know. If I know you got another father, another mother somewhere, I don't know.
So
it's not my preference.
This person said I ain't gonna be this person's parent.
Yeah.
Everybody need love. Everybody need a parent.
So let me ask you.
It's a lot of
unpredictable. I could see if the person could have kids, but you can't even have kids. So, like, what's the difference now? You can't even have them. Someone had them and didn't want them.
So, but let me ask you this question. I like kind of what the young lady on the screen is saying, but I don't know if I agree or disagree. Do y'all believe being an introvert is not a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing.
I think we're all on some level of spectrum as it concerns introvert and being an extrovert. So I think we actually switch more than we are just one or the other. So I don't think anything wrong with that.
So you believe, so based on what you're saying is you believe that we are both introverts and extroverts, but how much of one we are is like a percentage thing that we interchange between the two.
Yeah. Based upon scenarios. Like I think most of us are, I'll just say this and I'll pass it right over to you, Carmen. I think that like around family and people we're comfortable with, most of us are very extroverted, right? But then around like new environments with people we don't really know, we're not really comfortable around, we can start off as an extrovert until we get more comfortable in scenarios. So I do think that we switch back and forth.
I agree with you, Gabe, and I was just going to say, being an introvert and being socially awkward are not the same things.
Right.
Being socially awkward is the issue, but just liking to be with yourself, I don't see that as an issue.
All right, guys, let's get back into the video to see a little bit more about why she says she shouldn't have no kids.
Be such a big people pleaser and do something I don't want to do to make them feel better, how is me having a kid going to benefit that family or that woman? It's not going to. You know, although having kids is such a beautiful thing, it's also not for everybody. And people who try to make you feel stupid and low and like a waste of a woman and a waste of space and all these things, they're showing you how bitter and unhappy they are because they.
So let me ask you a question. Do you believe that a woman
A word.
do y'all believe that women get value from having a family? Or do you believe that that's kind of like the old times and that's not what it is nowadays?
I think it all depends because even just hearing her talk, it sounds like she's from a different culture. That's maybe not Western exactly. She might be I don't know. I have a problem in identifying culture. Hispanic, I don't know, maybe something like that. In different cultures, it's still the same. People might consider it old school, but in Hispanic cultures or any type of like Latin cultures, if you having kids, that's a woman's value. Or you talk about the Middle East, talk about Africa, that is a woman's value in those cultures. So I think it's very cultural dependent in this case.
Let's talk here on the West. So Karma, my question is, do you think that we value family enough to say that women are more valuable that make families versus the ones who do not?
I really don't know how to answer that low key because I'm a new mom and I feel like I have a new value in life. Like,
join the club. You done join the club. Let's go. You better than her. You better than her. Yeah.
I'm not. No. I don't think you're better than. Okay, hold on. Are we talking about? I don't think people who have kids are better than people. Especially if they a shitty parent. Not everybody deserves to have children. Let's start.
Clean it up. Clean it up now. Yeah, clean it up. Let's
start
perfect.
there.
Yeah.
Secondly, I feel like there's some women who just do not want kids and they find their value somewhere else, like wherever that is. For me,
wherever that is,
I'm loving it, and my kids aren't even home yet. But like, I got NICU mommy, I got a gold star today. That shit was amazing. That made me feel so happy.
So you said that you can't speak for other people, but you found value in being a mother.
Yes.
But you're also saying that you don't devalue people that don't find value.
No, I don't devalue you. If you don't want to have kids, that's your prerogative. And I feel you because I was there. And not even like someone was like, "Oh, your cousin's gonna be nice." I said, "Not if she don't want no kids." Like, I don't like people pushing that on people. Some people know their limits. Some people know they might not be the best parent. And just because you have a kid doesn't make you better than someone, because again, you could be a trash ass mom.
So you believe that the quality of mom matters?
Yes. It 100% matters. Because anybody, keep it a being with you, anybody can lay down and have kids. Having kids ain't going out of style. Are you going to be able to have kids and actually care for your kids? Are you going to be able to have kids and be able to put your kids first? Are you going to be able to have kids and then look back and people be like, "Damn, you a good ass mom"? Or are you going to have kids and people be like, "I don't know why the fuck this bitch having kids"? Or come on out.
But Carmen, it's not only the woman. I think men are jumping on board with this too. Men are saying that, hey, check this out. You know, women don't have to have kids. Let's see what this man is saying.
If I was a woman, I wouldn't want to have a child either. Why would I want to have a child? I don't need to have a child. I don't need to have a man. I don't need to pretend that I'm in love. I don't need to pretend that I want to be a mother. I don't need to stay at home and play giggle with a little child who's just another slave in the system. I don't have to.
Just another slave in the system. This man is saying, like, a woman, do you believe, Carmen, that a lot of mothers are pretending that they're not really happy? What they're doing is they actually pretending to be happy, to have this joy, and most mothers are actually miserable.
Well, either man, I'm a woman. So women be more honest when they talking to other women. So when a woman tell you you should have kids, 30 seconds later, they also say, If I didn't have these kids, though, like, they already, some of them, they don't say that. I'm not saying they're completely miserable, but they already told themselves like, hey, I'm just saying, you should have them, but I mean, low key, I wish I ain't had these.
So I think it's stages in life, right? The reason I say I think it's stages, like I understand, like in my 20s, I think I didn't want to have kids, but I really evaluate what I'm evaluating. Like, so my best friends is my father and my mother. I talk to my mother at least maybe 2 times a day, 4 times a day if it's not. And I know some people think that that's outrageous, but my mom called me for when I say about everything. She called me about everything.
You had a good mom, didn't you?
Yeah, my mom was great. Like the one thing that I love about my mother is that I was always able to be transparent. I was able to be honest. I didn't have to sugarcoat stuff. Like she allowed me to express how I truly feel.
That's how I said earlier that even if you can't handle the truth, you should still be able to tell your parent. That's exactly why, because you want to build a bond like that with your child.
So I had a chance, because what I had a chance to do was I took my mother and my father on a like out to lunch. And I said, hey, we need to get some stuff straight, right? Because at the time I was feeling that their divorce was one of the worst things that happened to my life, to be honest. They broke up. My life kind of went crazy. And truthfully and honestly, it wasn't them. When I think back on it, nobody had a conversation with me to tell me why they were separating, why I couldn't spend time with my father as much as I wanted to. It was no conversation. It was just like, you got to do this because I said so. So as an adult, I invited both of them out to dinner. And I really truthfully and honestly believe a lot of adults that have parents that separated should do this, right? They should get both of them in the same place. The child should actually pay for the food and they should talk about it, right? I know a lot of people look at it like a child needs to stay in his child place. First of all, I was an adult and I should have the right to be able to have this conversation. So do you believe that I overstepped my boundaries by having, and this was a real conversation. My mom was crying at the end of the thing. My dad looked like he wanted to punch me in the face. Like I was really
hurt and shit.
No, it wasn't that. It was just that I needed to have an understanding. Do y'all feel like as a child, even though that I was an adult, I should have stayed in the child place?
I think that all depends upon your relationship with your parents. If they allow it, if y'all have that type of, it's very hard for me to say because it's these are your feelings, these are your thoughts, these are your things that you need to unravel in your family dynamic. And I just don't think I'm in a position to say whether you should have done that or not. Yeah,
I agree with Gabe. I mean, I wouldn't even want to ask if you did the right thing. My question would be, did you like the outcome? I guess, like, did you get what you was looking for? That'll be what determines if that was good or not.
So my outcome that I wanted is I wanted to have the ability to forgive my parents, right? But it was the things that, and I truthfully and honestly, I should have been able to forgive my parents without closure. Let's be completely transparent, right? I should have been able to do that, but that's not what it was. I just had a conversation, and I was asking questions that people might feel like I stepped over boundaries. I want to know about their relationship. I want to know why they separated. I want to know why it put me in situations it put me in some really bad situations with other people, right? And so I asked all those questions, and after that, I felt like that was the beginning of our friendship because I felt like we wasn't friends. We dealt with each other beforehand, but we really became friends. Like my mom felt comfortable calling me 2-3 times. Me and my dad, we went on a cruise, just me and my dad, and we've been on vacation, just me and him. And we actually almost like I can actually call my parent a friend. So my question I'm gonna ask you, is it a time when you transition with your children from their parent to their friend?
Yeah, I think so. I think it happens less often than it should. I think most parents see their kids as kids forever. I done seen 80-year-old mothers talk to their 55, 60-year-old sons like they was little boys. And I don't think that's right at all. Even that the most recent situation with Kirk Franklin, and I think he was talking to his aunt or somebody, and she was telling him, get your head up out this car or something, like talking to him like he a little boy, like he a child. So, you know, I think that it should transition to a level of friendship, but I think that most times doesn't happen. It don't, especially in the Black community, especially with us.
Yeah. I think it should transition into a friendship, but you, as a child, you still gotta maintain a certain amount of respect for your parent.
Well, I respect my friends. I'm not just walking around disrespecting my friends. That's not a reality for me. So I do agree with that. But the one thing that I love about my relationship with my parents now, just like they can correct me, I can also correct their behavior too. Like, not saying like I'm correcting it, but I can say, hey, you know you was wrong. You shouldn't have did that. Like, and they don't get offense because they don't look at us as like, they still understand that I'm their child, but they feel like I'm mature enough to be their friend to tell them what they're wrong and what they're right. Do you think that is crazy?
I'll let you go first, Carpet, and I'll tell about mine.
You said that you got the ability to tell your parent where they went wrong in situations.
No, like say for example, my daddy doing something off the wall, and say me and Gabe was best friends. Gabe was about to fall off the cliff. I could say, hey Gabe, you about to fall off the cliff, and nobody would say that it's bad because he's my friend. I have the relationship. If my father is about to be able to fall off the cliff, I can say, hey Dad, you're about to fall off the cliff. And he's not going to take it personal just because he's my father, because he see me as a friend.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? Y'all grown.
Well, let me tell you.
Go ahead.
So I do not have that relationship with my parents. Even now, I could never ever tell them they was wrong about it. It's toxic. It's not good at all. My dad's from Nigeria. My dad is Nigerian, and my mom is an African American. I grew up primarily African American. I don't know nothing about Nigeria. That ain't even what I claim. I'm Killmonger more than anything else. But no, I couldn't tell neither one of them. I can't even tell my uncles that they wrong. Uncles in my family on my mom's side. So you know, hey, I just choose not to. I choose peace. I choose peace.
But I think that's the era. Because I don't think that an age thing should matter when you correcting wrong behavior.
It should not.
Agree.
I agree.
I tell my mom if I feel like she's wrong. Me and my mom, but my mom is a different breed. Like, we have conversations. My mom apologizes for shit she did to us as a kid. Like,
I got them parents that you can't even tell that never even talk to me about sex. They don't even talk about sex.
My mom definitely didn't do that. I learned that in school, but
so let's dive a little deeper, right? We want to dive a little deeper so that we can see it. I want to play this video because this talks a little bit about parenting, and I think we don't, because I wish it's not a book out there to tell you how to be a great parent, but I think it is something that is proven to be successful. I just think we don't talk about it enough. So let's dive into this video real quick.
Produce high-achieving students, we identified 5 common characteristics. First of all, in the high-achieving homes, these parents believe that the world is going to be better for their children. You know, in some homes, the parents are already downtrodden, already beaten, and they transmit a dismal attitude to their children. But not in the high-achieving homes. These parents say, well, it may not be all what I want it to be, but it's going to be better for my children. They first of all transmit hope. Secondly, in high achieving homes, these parents are consistent with their children. You know, some homes, mama got one rule on Monday, another rule on Wednesday. Not here. There's consistency. Third, in the high achieving homes, these parents are complimentary to their children. You know, some homes, every other word is 4 letters. Not here. These parents praise their children. Fourth, in the high achieving homes, these parents give their children high expectations. And then last but not least, besides transmitting hope, being consistent, being complimentary, giving high expectations, these parents believe that they are the primary educators of their children. If you want to,
I got this video.
That
I-
last one.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Oh my
We in
goodness.
church. We in
We is
in
like
church.
clapping
Yes.
up. Who is this man?
So the reason I pulled this video because I was told that this video was played to black people back in the 80s.
Oh, we need to bring him back.
So in the 80s, they said it was a group of black people sitting around in rooms all around America, and they was teaching the successful thing to be able to produce great kids, right? And so the question that I want to ask you, when we fast forward a generation, how do you believe the ball was dropped? Let me ask that question.
I don't think enough niggas was signing up for that seminar.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what was the marketing budget there? Cause look, he ain't all shots, no misses. Okay.
I think definitely as it concerns education, a lot of parents
Especially
rely.
we need to bring that back around now.
That's a fact. A lot of parents rely on the public school systems or schools in general to educate their children on almost everything. They feel like go ahead, Carmen.
They don't even feel like education starts before school starts.
Yep.
My kids is not even supposed to be here yet, and I am reading to them now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was reading to them when they was in the womb. I got flashcards already. Education starts at the crib. Education starts before they get sent off somewhere else, and it continues when they come home from school. First thing I ask my stepdaughter is, "What you learn at school today?" Fuck, how was school? What did you learn at school? You've been there for 8 hours. You better tell me some good stuff.
So how do you guys feel about the school system? Do y'all think that we need to abandon the school system, or you think it's still some hope in the school system?
I think school systems are supplementary, that the majority of the education should happen within the home. I think the parents should have a major involvement in educating their children towards the curriculum and the information that they need to be successful in the future. I think that also extracurricular activities are things that are very important too. Like it should just be school, go home, they play, they eat, and go to sleep. I think they should also be involved in additional things, even outside of school, where they're putting that education into action, where they're involved in like an engineering program or involved in some type of sports where they're learning camaraderie, they're learning social behaviors. I think it's a lot of elements of learning and teaching where the majority of it, I think, happens outside of the four walls of a school.
So shout out to Security Boss. We appreciate you stopping by to the Aaron O show with the Either Man Williams takeover. Make sure y'all like and go to Security Boss. She talk about not only how to be married, but to stay married. Her and Mr. Boss definitely be cooking up some stuff, and I love watching the stuff that they have. So it comes down to educating. It's not like, because I don't want to misquote Karma. Are you married?
No, I'm not married.
All right. So when we start talking about like educating the kids, we talk about who the child should actually go in. Do you think that for your kids, I know you're just starting to have kids, do you think it makes a difference if you guys are married, your kids see the child as two married people, or is it two people that's to get a long-term relationship? Do you think that's a factor in what your kids?
I don't think so. I don't think so. As long as your kids is in a loving environment with two people who actually care and love each other, yeah. I think that's what they look at. That's what they matter.
Gabe, what do you think about what Carmen said? Do you think it matters if a person's married or not when it comes down to raising kids?
I think it does to a degree, because I think the kid is the children are looking at the parents as an example of what they might want to accomplish or where they might want to go in the future, right? I know I have a nephew so my brother and his girlfriend, they've been together long term for years, probably longer than even than maybe like 30 something years or something. My nephew is now, how old is he? About 17 now. And I think that even all as he was growing up, he never knew what marriage was. I think his first wedding was the one that I had. And he had always just said, like, you know, I just want to grow up to have a honey. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but I do think that if the parents desire for their kids to be married, then an example of marriage in the household would be something for them to see and to emulate. So I do think that it does make a degree of difference.
So Gabe, you have daughters, right?
I have, a daughter and another one on the way.
All right, 2 girls, right? It's funny how when we want boys, we get girls. You know what happened? We did all that planning. And
There
that's why we got these girls, because we planned
There
for
it
them,
is.
right?
Yep.
So as a father, right? How would you feel if your daughter was getting married, not getting married, but producing kids? From a father's point of view, how would you feel about that?
I will want my daughter to be married before she has children. I think there's a level of commitment there. There's also a level of I mean, even as you concerns legally, right? I mean, if her partner is in a hospital, she can't necessarily go in there without proper consent, right? The family members are the first ones. If he doesn't have things in order, I guess as it concerns what's that called? Beneficiary. Then she might not get anything, or her everything might go to the kids. But a lot of times with a beneficiary, the money goes to the kids when they become an adult. So the kids might be in a situation where they can't even get insurance money until afterwards, right? Or after they become an adult, and the mom is left. My daughter is left, you know, fending for the kid in this cold world. So, you know, I think there are factors that come with it, but I will want my daughter to be married first. Yeah.
So Carmen, you have boys, right?
Mm-hmm.
How would you feel if your boys was baby daddies?
As long as they take care of their kid.
Okay, so do you believe that? Well, I think you're a new parent, so I'm trying to just understand. So don't take my question personal. So do you believe a man being in the house is a big effect on kids? So you believe that it's not?
I believe a man being in the house is a big effect on the kid. I believe that the man who produced those kids is a bigger effect in the house. I just don't. I mean, I grew up in a very Christian household, so my views on marriage is different because I've seen a lot of people get forced to be married, whether they wanted to get married or not. So I have my own views on marriage that I just have from childhood. And I don't have anything against it. It's just that I don't think that's the end all be all, because I know a lot of people who's married and fucking miserable.
So do you know a lot of people that's in long-term relationships that are miserable?
Not really. They usually end up working the shit out. And if not, they don't work it out, but they never stop being parents to their child. Like, it's never a situation where I don't hang out with bitter people. I don't hang out with.
I just want to make sure I'm hearing you correct. You believe a baby mama and a baby daddy relationship are typically more happier than people that's inside of a marriage?
Can't say that.
That's not what
that's why I asked it, because the reason I'm asking that question is I believe, and I could be wrong, you have 2 options. Either you could be in a marriage and make a child, or you could typically be I know we give a negative connotation to baby mom and baby daddy, but will we agree that you either one or the other, or are y'all saying that it's a middle ground?
I think the negative, the extreme negative connotation on baby mama and baby daddy is so hard to move past that to me there just has to be a middle ground, because it's like when someone say, "Oh, that's my baby daddy," I'll be like, "Ooh, what, you don't like him?" Like,
okay. So let me give you my definition. A baby daddy is someone who the father of a child that they're not married to. A child's father is the person that actually the father of a child that they conceive in marriage or within wedlock. So I'm not trying to be I'm I'm not trying to be condescending with what I'm asking, but in my mind, I seen that it was two. So Carmen, you said that it's a middle ground. What would we call the middle ground people?
Okay, so in my eyes, when I hear the term baby dad, I mean legally, I mean like definition wise, it is someone who fathered a child. But when I hear it, I hear ain't shit nigga. Like I hear a lot of negative things, or even when I hear someone say, "Oh, that's my baby mama," like, I don't. It doesn't be sounding positive stuff. So it's like I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm just
Yeah, I get what you said, but I'm trying to understand what would we call the people in the middle?
The middle people, that's my child's father, or that's the mother of my children, because that's what they are. I feel like that's a mother and a father, opposed to a baby dad. No, I'm a mother, he's the father. And then people who are married, I don't, again, I think that's probably because I feel like people cannot be married and still produce in households as the same as married people. So it's not that I'm saying they're the same, but their actions and the love they have and all that stuff usually are the same. They just didn't get married for whatever reason that they have.
So Gabe, do you agree to that? That people that are not married, it's the same as people that are married?
I think it's a little different. I think I do believe that people can love and care for each other just as much within marriage and long-term relationships. But I think that marriage also has a business type of implication to it. Like you are joining funds, you're joining estates, you're joining families, last names and family tree lineage. All of that is involved in a marriage, that where in a non-marital situation, both parties can just walk away anytime. All you gotta do is take your name off that lease. So it's much easier to walk away from a non-marital relationship than a marital relationship. And I think that the fact that it's not as easy, right? It I think people are more apt to try to work through it. Right.
So it's interesting that y'all say this, is because when I see a married couple and they're raising a child, in my eyes, I see a level of unity. We all got the same name. We all beat off the same drum. We are all moving in the same step. Versus when she got one name, he got another name. He got it gives us a little division there. Do you disagree with that, or you agree with that comment?
I mean, I would agree.
Okay. That makes
Carmen
sense.
said, "You ain't about to change my mind about nothing."
Thank
Carmen
you.
said, "I done seen what it was." She said, "I done seen bad marriages that has affected my look on marriage."
I've seen bad marriages and I've
Either
seen
man,
good
back
marriages.
up. That's what she
I've
says. Yeah,
seen them,
back up.
but I have my opinion, and I mean, I'm sticking to it. Ain't nobody. Maybe it's because, like I said, trauma. Ain't nobody forcing me to marry nobody. Okay,
I agree.
I'm forced to do shit I don't want to do.
I agree. Listen, I'm 100% in agreement with what you're saying. I don't think that I'm in a situation I'm trying to force anybody. First of all, if you guys want to join the show, we just dropped the StreamYard in the chat. You can hit the link and we can have this conversation. What I was trying to do, and I hope y'all guys got my sentiment of what I was trying to do. I am not trying to look at this from the husband and wife point of view. What I was trying to look at this from was the children point of view. Do children look at it the same? And so I'm not trying to push that you should get married. I hope you're not getting that from me. What I'm trying to say is when a child look and he say, hey, my parents are married, my parents have the same name, they're together, do they look at that different between someone else who say, my daddy live in this house and my dad live over there, or my daddy them just sleeping together? And is it our responsibility as parents to actually set the standard for the kids?
Well, either man, I'm kind of understanding kind of where you're coming from, but I also think the way that you're kind of phrasing the questions is showing how valuable you've seen your parents' marriage. It's showing that, like, hey, when I saw my parents, this was it was an amazing experience, and it made me want to experience that, right? I think that some people, other kids, can see their parents' marriage and be like, why are they together? All they do is fight. All they do is argue. All they do is go back and forth with each other, and they put me right in the middle. I'll never want to get married.
For me.
Yeah, right. So, you know, I think that everybody has had those different experiences, but I think it's very plain to see that you have seen a valuable marriage as you were growing up, and your questions show it. Your questions show it, either man. They definitely show it. I'll pause it.
So Antonio, what's up, brother? I appreciate you coming over.
What's up?
What's up?
We're talking a little bit about where children should go. Should they go with the mama or the daddy? Should the parents look at marriage? So I'm gonna ask you this question: do you believe that kids look at marriage different? Look at their parents different if they're married or they're not married?
Oh yeah, they definitely look at it different if they married. Most definitely.
What would you say the major difference is?
I'm gonna say, I can't say that per se, but I'm gonna say this in the Black community, when we talk about marriage and not marriage, or just being together in general. I had my daughter tell me that she wouldn't mind that I was with her mom, which I already know she really wanted to see that. And I also had I even though this kind of strays off a little bit, but I also had, she actually told me before too that it's some people that they kind of get a little upset when she's talking about her dad because they don't have the dad in their life. So it's like a conflict when she's talking high about her dad, and then they don't have a dad to talk high about. And it's like she says she get a lot of hate from others. So she gotta try to, she either stop talking about me so much, or she'll try to stray away from those people.
So I get what you're saying, but so you're saying that the thing that matters the most is not if you're married. What matters the most is that the dad is in their life.
Well, it's the best situation for both to be married. That's the best situation you can have. But if not, then the next best thing is to have that dynamics of y'all both being in the child's life.
So it sounds like you agree that a child should be raised for 18 years with the father in the household, right? Are you for that, or are you against that?
Yeah, I'm definitely 100% with that.
So how does it look? Because we feel the father and we feel the mother is important, right? So how does 18 years together look like if you guys are not married? That's what I'm trying to understand. Like, how does that look like if we value that, Antonio?
So one thing that I believe Gabe said earlier, that it's good for the child to see both mom and dad intermingle together, so they can know what a positive relationship look like. And that's why I felt as a father that I did not do that. So I failed in the aspect. I haven't showed her what a good relationship is supposed to look like, and as she's growing up and get ready to be on her own.
And a little bit to that point, sometimes people would even say, like, within the marriage, like, I stayed together for the kids, right? And as soon as the kids out the door, or as soon as the kids become adults, the parents go ahead and get a divorce. So you can see that dynamic too, just like you said, Antonio. That
I actually think actually think that I know a lot of people are against that, but I'm not so much against that mindset. Hey, we created a life that we brought in together. Now, and I'm not talking about that it's a level of abuse there, right? I mean, that's not what I'm talking about. But hey, I know that my child being around you and my child being around me is equally important. So us staying together until our child actually graduate and get out this house, why are we so against that?
Because they can't get along. Them parents can't get them parents.
I believe
people don't
want to go kill each other if they stay in that house. That's
I just
But that was the first thing that I said. That I get it if your life isn't threatened or you can be physically harmed. I get that. But one thing, this woman said,
man, some people want to do them too. Like, I am over you. I don't want to be with you. I can still be a good parent. I just don't gotta be a good parent in this house with you.
Well, a lot of parents don't want to sacrifice for the kids. They don't want to sacrifice their happiness for the kids because
I think
everybody make them decisions.
I think that's what it really is. That people are just selfish. People say, F these kids. No, let's be honest. Let's call it a B. They say, F these kids. We don't care about these kids, to be honest. The one thing we care about is our.
Man, do you
chill.
Hold on, because I just get the vibe that you just are under this belief that for some reason people cannot still be a good parent unless they are together with that person. Don't you know that there is some people who be married and they still don't do shit for their child? They're just there. They're just a body.
I'm not saying like my father was a great father. In my opinion, if I have to break down my father, he was such an amazing father. But it's certain things that happened to me in my life, I know for a fact that it wouldn't happen to me if my father was in that house. I know for a fact that the things that happened to me wouldn't happen if my father was there. So I get what y'all saying is that he still can be a great father in his own house. But typically when you remove the protection out of the house, it is a cause on the kids. Do y'all disagree with that?
Yeah, to some degree. To some degree. Because
go back to what we talked about with original question was.
I'll go right after you, Carmen.
Live with. If y'all do not work out and your child doesn't want to be in an area, I don't want to use you as an example, but say you was looking at shit and you saying, you know what, I don't feel comfortable being here. I feel like if my dad was here, I wouldn't be going through these things. If you guys afforded the opportunity to be where you felt like you would be more safe at, you wouldn't have these opinions that you have now. I don't know for sure. I'm not there.
But that's the hard part. My mother, a lot of the way that I think, the way that I can be intellectual, the way I can break down a conversation, I got a lot of that from my mother. So I believe my mother was just as equally important for me, her being in my life too. So I'm not saying that I could have went to my father and yes, he might have protected me on one half, but I would have been missing the half that my mother is. That's what I'm saying. I wish they would have stayed together.
The part that I reject, though, the part that I object to of what you're saying is that if you saying that if parents don't stay together for the kids, then they're selfish people. They only care about themselves. Where I don't necessarily agree with that, because at times parents cannot be their best selves in parenting if they are miserable and they don't want to be together. They can actually take some of that anger and some of that unhappiness out on the kids if they stay in that situation. So just because it's not the optimal best environment or the optimal best situation doesn't mean that they still can't be good parents. And also it doesn't mean that they're selfish, because sometimes they can be selfless by leaving that situation and creating a different dynamic of parenting.
See, I hear what you're saying, right? All right, so let's say this right here. So if that's the case, if you got kids and the person who birthed their kids is not in that house, so do we all agree that they should not get with another person until those kids out the house?
No, I'm not saying that.
So that means that another person, another man or another woman can move into this house now right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, it's so many
Like, what are
layers.
you?
Is it that's
Say the
point?
thought. Say
Okay,
the
can I
thought.
ask y'all a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
What? You know, I'm gonna tell y'all mine. Give the example and then follow up. Because I ask questions pretty weird. Okay, so what is an example? What does a healthy separation look like to you? So a healthy separation to me looks like the child having an option to be at, like I said, you get off the school bus, say you want to spend this week at your dad's house, you just want to spend next week at your mom's house. I believe that people should not be bitter. You say the child wants to be at their mom's house. What's stopping the mom from saying, okay, you know what? We all are still a family because we still share a child. It's Sunday night. Let's make dinner. Let's call dad over. Let's watch TV. Let's watch movies. Let's still communicate as a family. Let's still go out sometimes, even though we're not together. We still go and take the child to the amusement park. We still do things together. We just not together. We're still raising our child, though. That's
But
what a
listen,
separation
but
looks like.
if I'm gonna go to the movies with you, I'm gonna go to Disneyland with you. I'm gonna do all this stuff with you.
I mean, in Ohio,
I can just stay with you
down the street.
I listen, but that's what I'm saying. If we
Facts, man.
If I'm gonna listen, if I'm gonna be required to go to the park with you, then we going to the movies
I
together.
can only be around you though for about 3 days before you start pissing me off again.
Okay, well that means you need to go to your room. Like maybe y'all just need a bigger house. No, for real. Like maybe y'all need a bigger house where you can go to your own room for a couple days, cool off, and you come back in that other room once you got your stuff together. Hey, Gabe, can you look at the private chat? So like,
yes.
Yeah,
I saw it already.
All right, cool.
You are on punishment. You can go ahead and go.
Okay, if I still gotta play house, shouldn't I just stay with you? Because it sounds good from the woman's point of view, because she's still getting all the benefits of the man. But like, if I'm gonna do all this, I'm taking you to Disney World, we playing family. I should get the benefits of me being with you.
And there might be some of that, right? At times there might be some of that. I'm not saying that they should, right? But I don't think that just because it's not the father, mother, what they call it, the family dynamic. No, it's a name for it. It's like the man, woman, the dog, the cat, the nuclear family. Just because it's not the nuclear family doesn't mean that it still can't work. And that's the thing, right? Because I think really the main element that it takes are two mature adults. Because if y'all not mature, then it's gonna be crap.
But here's the thing, though.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
For the most part, being two mature adults, for the most part, y'all would have been still together if that's what y'all really wanted to do.
But mature adults don't necessarily mean they could be.
I'm not saying it necessarily means that, but I feel like if you had two mature adults, let's say most of these situations was two mature adults, then probably 85% of them should still be together.
I mean, I
could see that.
I'm not disagree because I'm feel like, bro, if you don't like somebody and you know that you want to do wrong, but you feel like you got to do right, I guess that's when y'all be talking about the sense of duty part.
But Carmen, the point that I'm making is, I should know enough about you before I had the kid. Like after I had the kid, that shouldn't be like, let me see if I like this person, and I got a 3-year-old now. I don't
know. I don't agree with that because people change. Like it's cliche, but people definitely
things
change.
happen in people's lives. People grieve things they don't want to talk about.
Yeah, people go through trauma. Like so many different. Yeah,
but see, that's the point. So if I go through some trauma, I go through some things. What I'm supposed to do is I'm supposed to work those things out. See, I think so many people run from the issues now. So if I'm going through trauma, I'm going through some type of PTSD, my wife's supposed to be my support system through it. This is why I'm such a big advocate of personal development. I believe in going to seminars together. I believe that y'all should read books together and y'all should grow together so that y'all elevate at the same level. See, what happens is one person go one way, one person go the other way, and you trying to understand is why y'all guys are not on the same level no more. I think you just have to be intentional.
Right. And I believe, and see, I kind of see me when I was younger, I kind of had a small understanding of what I wanted to be as a parent or in a relationship, but I didn't know the full dynamics of how I view it now. So I wish at least going into that relationship I understood everything, because now I understand the leadership position I'm supposed to hold and how I was supposed to run the relationship. And so I feel like it's too much. It's too much. I don't know. I can't really say it like that. I don't know. I feel like it's good ways to run a relationship, and the lady has to let the man run the relationship, or she has to at least vet him enough to know, okay, I'm willing to follow his lead, and then of course the lady should be the man should be able to vet the lady to know, okay, I can listen to her. She is smart enough to give me bring wisdom to the table. So as I'm making these decisions, that I definitely want her input before I make that decision. And I feel like I feel like that's one of the biggest things when it comes to relationships and people being together.
So if I heard you correctly, what you're saying is that
spin this narrative, y'all.
You like I do that, Carmen?
It's art. It's good.
When people talk, this is what I hear. Most people, I think so many people are horrible communication. Somebody talk, and then they think they know what they said instead of repeating.
We do the same thing, man. That's why you can't do it with me, because I'm very intentional. You ain't gonna play me.
So like say for example, when me and my wife do this, I'd be like, so what I heard you say.
You ain't what I heard.
But that's good. I can say this one thing. You do have selective hearing, but I'm glad that you replay it back so we can tell you, no, that is incorrect, and this is what I said.
So, but what you said, if I'm hearing it right, I don't forgot what you said now because y'all are cut. It only works if I respond right after. So what we hearing is so much that we believe both parents is important, but if a person say, you know what, I'm not happy, I should leave and go try to find happiness somewhere else.
Okay, again, now I'm finna reiterate what I said. I'm saying that I wish I had that understanding when I was young. When I first conceived my first child, I was 19. She was 19. I was very young, and I didn't really have a good understanding. Now I wish I had a better understanding, because we could have had a really chance to really stay together, but that was not the case at that time.
I think what I'm hearing you say is that your first child wasn't planned. Like any time a child,
even if it was planned, I still didn't have enough understanding.
But so was your first?
So let's say, okay, it wasn't planned, right? But let's say if it was planned, I still, because of what happened, I still would have broke up with her.
No, so the difference between what you're saying is Gabe said that he planned his children out, right? So he kind of looked into what he needed to do to be a parent because it was planned. So Gabe was on the offense when it came down to having kids. According to what you're saying is that you was reactive. You was actually on the defense and you was reacting to the moment. Do you disagree with that or you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that.
So even what you're saying is Gabe was a better man than Antonio.
Oh, here we go. No, ain't no battle here.
But you still missing. But you still missing the biggest dynamic of it. I believe the bigger dynamic is that my understanding was too low.
I hear you.
My understanding of what I wanted as a father, as a being a family man, it was too low. If I had that same understanding as I had right now, then I would have still been together. I don't care if it was a oops. It could have been. I can like right now. I can have a oops child right now, but my understanding is way totally different than my 19-year-old self.
And I think that the conversation shouldn't necessarily be like good, better, best, but it's like based upon the situation that we're currently in, this is the best choices for us to make now.
Well,
right?
I'm not.
Because we can't go back.
His
You can't go back. It's just
here
water under the bridge.
Everybody else who don't want to be married than kids. He's been doing it all night.
Well, listen, Carmen is trying to start drama, but what I'm trying to do is the child in a better position if the parents planned the baby versus not planning the baby. That was where I was going. I'm not saying that.
So I would say better
of
position
course.
Statistically, yeah. But
of course.
And do we believe, just based off statistics, since he said statistically, that long-term relationships have the same level of success as people that's married? Gabe?
No, because like I mentioned before, I think because of that commitment factor, both parties can walk away at any time. So it's much more difficult. But at the same time, I don't know. I'll say this. I'll say that I don't have those numbers in front of me, but from just thinking about it, I would think because that commitment factor is not there, where it's much easier to leave, that those relationships probably end more than marital relationships.
So you believe that they end more because of the simple fact of it's no commitment.
Yeah, but like on paper, almost like it's a contract. There's no contract, right?
Oh, so let me tell you what I heard you say. Let me tell you what I heard you say, Gabe. What you're saying is like getting married is like having a business partner, y'all understanding the relationship. But if you just have a long-term relationship, it's like a handshake deal. It's not really. It's not actually. It's not really it's just a verbal agreement that can't be held up in court.
And some handshake deals work, right? But at the same time, those contracts, really hold you in.
People who be trying to break a contract all the time, and if they can't break the contract, then they gonna do side shady deals on the side.
But I get what you're saying, but contracts do work. Like it's proven by law that having a contract with somebody versus not having a contract gives you the ability to win later on.
16 people trying to break a contract right now.
Yeah, people are trying to break contracts, right? What's the main way that they say? They say irreconcilable differences. So that's one that they use to break contracts all the time. And I'm not saying that that's a good thing, but it's much more difficult than just walking away and breaking a lease.
So
I mean, it's
go ahead. I just want to understand. So say, for example, Carmen, that the guy that you with, something happened and over a year he was worth $40 million or whatever, right? Whatever it is, right? He was worth $40 million and he felt that he should not give you any of it. Would you be okay with that?
Dang, you making the most extreme circumstances.
All right, let's say $1 million. Do we believe $1 million is attainable in America?
You know what? I never prescribe to the philosophy that your money is my money anyway.
See, and that's the thing, right? In marriage, that is the philosophy.
Person, like
in marriage, that is the philosophy, right? Because it's like if we break, somebody paying something. Somebody paying something. You dividing something. So yeah.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Sugar bum. I just seen him. Girl.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna talk about that on a different panel later.
Oh, you talking about the Keke Palmer thing?
Yes, I just seen him.
I just saw it too. So Keke Palmer is filing for full custody of her 8-month-old baby from
This
baby
man
father.
chokeslammed Keke Palmer on the couch. Like we got the screenshots.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yes, I just seen it. It's vicious.
Wait, so this comes after? This comes after the wait, did she file for full custody before or after that?
She's okay. This is after that. That event led her to file for full custody. I ain't going to direct the conversation.
There we go.
But let's get back to what we're talking about. But we can
It's
talk
related,
about
but yeah.
Well, no, I think it's actually related because of the simple fact is Keke Palmer took the route of the long-term relationship, didn't she?
Uh-oh. So you said chill.
Yeah, and I believe if you got screenshots of somebody slamming you or whatever,
no, it's not.
then
It was it's like security footage on her house. Somebody paid to get those stills.
That's crazy.
You know how the blog work.
That's crazy. But then that's that abuse piece, though. I don't think abuse is necessarily.
Can happen in a marriage. It can happen in a regular relationship. So
and that's why I told him chill. That's why I told him chill because that's not directly. That's not directly an implication.
That's the whole point of us actually bringing it up. Hey, make sure y'all guys hit the like button. The likes are free. Definitely hit those likes buttons as y'all guys are coming in.
People is offended getting. Oh wow.
That's crazy.
The reason that I took the abuse out because I think everybody agrees that if somebody's getting abused, that it's healthy for them to leave the relationship. So that's kind of why I let with that, right? But the question that I'm understanding is because I really don't understand what you're saying, Carmen, and that's why I want you to help me out. You're saying that it does not matter if both people. It doesn't really matter if both people are married in the same house or living in the same house. They're living in separate houses. They still can be effective parents together. Is that that's kind of your thought process?
Is basically that you don't. I mean, if you want to be married, that's fine. That's amazing. That's beautiful. I'm not going to tell you not be married. If y'all don't want to be married, that's fine. That's cool. The only thing I care about is you guys are both, whether you're married or not, you all are both committed to your child that y'all laid down and had. That is my main stance. As long as y'all are committed to the child that y'all make, as in you spend time with this kid, you love on this kid, you be there for this kid can be open with you, honest with you, can spend time with you when they want to. That to me is what is important. Your relationship with your child, married or unmarried. That's my stance.
But you're saying that you really value that man being inside the house, though.
I do, but sometimes what's on paper don't work out in reality. So even if that man is not in the house, me as a mom, I'm never going to deny you your child, whether you're in the house or not. Would I want you there? Yes, but if you don't want to be there, if it works out where you're not going to be there, you still will be there for your child.
So and let's reverse these questions on Either Man. Let's reverse these questions. Do you think that there's a second best option for children? Do you think that there's something still good can come out of a married or a relationship between kid and parent where both parents are not in the house? Do you think it's a second best option? And if so, what does that look like to you, Either Man?
No, I don't think so. I don't think.
Straight up no.
I don't think single parenthood is a good thing that we should promote.
How is it single parenthood if both parents is active in the child's life? Like, not who's single? I mean, you're single because you don't got a boyfriend. I mean, you don't got a wife or a husband. Both parents is active parents in the child's life.
All right, so what I'm trying to understand is like I see the things like one thing that my daughter look forward to is praying with me every night, right? We sit down, we pray, we have this conversation. And I get that you said we got technology. She can FaceTime you every night and pray. I think those things matter when it comes down to our kids.
But due to the fact that we do have technology, she can FaceTime you and call you. Or maybe let's say she's at your house. Again, I don't know. I guess I could see. I'm trying. I'm just going to agree to disagree and say I can see how you
Yeah.
saying that's a single parent.
Yeah.
But to me, like my personal belief, if both people are active parents in the child's life, again, like I said, the child has the option of going where the fuck they want to go, whether it be for a week, a month, or two. I don't see what you're saying.
I think there can still be positive outcomes even if the
Yeah, like
parents
I
are not
don't
together.
see how.
So let's dive a little bit deeper. I think another thing is, say if my daughter at nighttime wake up for a bad dream, her being able to run to her father in the middle of the night and get into bed with him. I think that's important for the development of my child.
That's what I'm saying. Like with you, it's either optimal or nothing. Where if that can't take place, the mom can at times, right, be there during the night, and maybe during the day when you pick her up for school, when the father pick her up for school, y'all could talk about that, or she could tell you about it, right? That might not be the optimal thing, that might not be the best, but life isn't about making everything the best. Life is about making the best out of what your situation is.
I think life is about being able to put yourself in a situation that you got the best outcomes.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. The best outcome isn't necessarily the best outcome is not always possible. Right? Perfection is not always possible.
You know why I disagree with that, right? Outside of abuse, right? Yeah. I have sat down with hundreds of single parents and I asked them, I said, if you know what you knew today, could you and your baby daddy made it work? And they said yes. Most of them say yes. Most of them said, I mean, if we remove abuse, right? I'm talking about not the abuse. We're going to put them aside. But everybody else says that they could have made it work. They just wasn't educated on how to make it work.
I mean, it's not that there's even circumstances where maybe one of the parents passed. What can you do there?
Well, that's totally different because if you're not there, it's not a possibility. But hold on, I want to play this video real quick, and I want to get y'all take on it.
Yeah.
First of all, children need both parents, boys and girls. I don't care. You need both of your parents. Mm-hmm. If you're not living in the same household, you still need both. I mean, regardless of whether your relationship works out, that has nothing to do with the kid. You still have to show up, both parents.
That's what the fuck I've been saying.
That's what Carmen been saying the whole time.
I'm trying to help you. I'm throwing you out of bridge and you trying to fight with me. So
I had to be a rich black woman for you to listen?
No, so you're saying that, hey, because I wanted to play that video because what she's saying and what you're saying is that just make the best of the situation, even though the person, because this is what I hear people say, I had to do what's best for me. And they don't say I need to do what's best for the family.
Sometimes what's best for you is what's best for the family.
Explain that. What does that look like?
That looks like you say you with a person. I ain't gonna. I know a person, okay, and this is some true stuff. I ain't putting names on it, but I know people in a marriage, and basically, you got one person who has been pulling all of the weight while being disabled, and their partner is a single body person who can do things that they need to do. They just are not doing them. And they are in this marriage because they are married. Situations like that.
So they're married but not happily married.
No, play that whole situation back. Hold on, play it back. Like rewind the whole situation. And can you tell it to me one more time? I want to make sure that I heard it correctly.
There's a person.
Do you want me to respond? Okay, go ahead.
There's a person in the marriage who is literally doing everything, like working, taking care of the kids, dropping the kids off, being attentive to the kids, while also in a wheelchair. Okay? Then there's another person in the marriage who is not working, who is not being attentive to the kids, actually just said that the 3-year-old daughter needs to stop depending on them to do everything and ask for things themselves. this marriage is only still going on because it's a marriage.
So you
How is
believe
that healthy for the
okay,
child?
I get what you said. So you said the person, because we're not gonna put a gender on it, right? So you're saying that it's a person that's doing absolutely nothing. They're literally just there taking up space.
Just literally just there.
They have never had conversations with the child. They never made a peanut butter jelly sandwich. Like they absolutely just doing nothing.
They told
trying to unpack the story. You
other
think it's
person
what
in
it
the
is.
party. The person in the party told them to watch the kid, and then he said, "Oh my God, don't put the gender on it." But then
we understand the story.
Okay,
we understand the story without the details.
Niggas said, "Don't ask me to watch the kids anymore." What the fuck? They're your kids. What do you mean? What?
Real quick side note: what did you do to Black Gold Moolah? Because he's been going at you all day, Carmen.
First of all, I don't even know this man, but
What,
you know,
you did something to him. He's pissed at you.
I'm just trying to understand the situation because according to the information,
I'm trying to understand the situation too because I'm trying to figure out why. Because if it was me,
no, because you said that he is watching the children. He just got an attitude while he watching. Like, man, I gotta watch these kids again, right?
He's just there. He's just there.
He's just there. You hear how people be like, the girl has literally walked outside the house, went to a neighbor's house, and everything under his supervision.
So I get it, but my question that I'm asking you is, do you believe that that's an extreme situation? Or do you think most people are in this situation?
It's extreme. Listen.
All right. So I'm not saying
that I see every day.
So you see extreme situations every day with a whole bunch of different people.
You can't see me, but I'm drinking my water.
Okay. All right. The point that make sure y'all guys get those lights up. The point that I'm saying is I sat down today with some ladies today, right? And we had a conversation. And what the consensus of what these group of women said was that being a good man is not good enough. I want more. Him being just a good man, not good enough. So cool. You can say the lady that's in the wheelchair and she had a person who did absolutely nothing, and you still kind of went back.
Didn't help her get into the house the other day.
But I'm saying you went to abuse, right? Because if a person let their kids run out into the street and had the potential going to the neighbors getting hit by a car, that's a level of abuse. So you still kind of went back to abuse, right? But my question that I'm asking is, when I hear women say that today, because we had this conversation, being a good man is not good enough, right? It's not good enough. Just you taking care of your kids, looking after your kids, those things are not. I think this is what we're hearing women leave relationships for today. And are you saying that that's okay just because you're unhappy?
Yep.
And so, Antonio, let me come to you because I haven't heard from you in a while. Do you believe, from a man's point of view, that just because you're unhappy, you should have the ability to break up your home and leave?
No, I believe you should actually find ways to work it out. That's when people have, coaching sessions, therapy, whatever they want to call it. You supposed to go to every length to try to stay together.
And so, Gabe, based off what you're saying, I'm trying to just get where you guys are at. You're saying, I think we all agree if it's something extreme, like your kid truthfully and honestly not safe, because it sounds like the story that I heard that the child is not safe. The child can roam and leave the house, and the child is in danger. I kind of get that.
They marry, and this is the best thing for people, and forget how people actually are. It's just amazing.
Yeah, so like I believe so when we start talking about irreconcilable differences, people are just not getting along. I believe majority of people are getting divorced or separated just because they don't get along. I don't think it have nothing to do with the level of abuse that we think it has. And you're saying you disagree with that, Carmen.
I feel like people, especially if you already done got married, you don't walk down this aisle. I'm not believing, and then the people in the chat people saying why we get married, so people like that. Again, people change every day. People wake up and be grieving something or triggered by something, and they turn into a different person. So the whole like, oh, why would you have got married to that person? They clearly was not like that in the beginning. So if something happens to people in a marriage, especially if y'all done did the thing, like walked down the aisle, y'all did the right thing, and you really need to go file for a divorce. To me, something had happened to where y'all already been trying, and it's just not getting right. It's not getting better. It's not turning into anything positive. At this point, there isn't anything else but to do but either take a pause break. Maybe y'all don't get a divorce, but y'all take a pause break and figure something out later, or y'all get a divorce. I not believing people are just saying, you know what, I don't like your face no more. Let's not be together. Especially if they done did the work to be married. There has to be something serious that done happen, whether you find it serious or not. Something serious done happen.
So I get what you're saying. Some tragic or trauma thing happened that caused how people are actually responding. I get that. But what security bosses says, what did the marriage do in that situation? That sounds like those two people are not mature enough to work through that situation.
I cannot speak for marriage.
I don't know if it's not necessarily. I don't know if it's necessarily just them not being mature enough. I think it also has an element to do with there are times. I think the divorce numbers are so high because people are getting, huh?
That's what I said. The divorce numbers I think dropped by like 25%.
That's not what I'm saying. No, I'm saying I think that they're so high. They're at the rate that they're at right now because there are a lot of people who are married who shouldn't have been married. Right? I think that's, huh?
No, I think
everybody not supposed to be married, either, man. Like that's just a fact.
I believe the reason that divorces are so high is because it's an easy out, and one group of people are typically incentivized to leave.
Those are some other reasons, but I think that not everybody is.
Well, let me give you an example. Gabe, you work at a company, and if I came to you and I said, "Hey, I'm going to give you $5,000 a month to leave this company," right? Do you think that you are more happier to leave, that you're incentivized?
Not necessarily. It only depends on if that value is more than what I see in that company. So it all depends on how much I value working at that company. If I'm talking about $5,000 a month, that's not something for me to leave my job for.
But you can go work another job.
I mean, sure, yeah, you can go work another job.
See that.
Again,
I think that
is where I value my work at that company.
So security boss says this selfishness is why marriages break up. Point blank.
That's not the only reason. That's not the only reason. Actually,
I do believe that's one of the highest. That's one of the highest form reason why marriage breakup is selfishness. And I just want to say, shout out to Kitty Boss. I watched her channel. I watched her and some other lady did something on another channel. I seen that, so I was able to catch that.
So Gabe, if security boss is not right, tell us what is another reason why a marriage breaks up.
Money. It's actually the top reason.
Poverty,
struggle. No. That's not. No. Wait. That's not selfish.
So y'all think people should just be okay with being blatantly disrespected 24/7?
I was about to say.
That's what I hear y'all say. That's what I'm hearing.
But
Carmen going off. Carmen, check it. Carmen, let me finish what I'm saying.
Oh, my bad, Gabe. I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Gabe, Carmen.
That was all good. It's all good.
It's all good. Carmen, you keep going back to abuse.
Nah, it's my man's. No, it's my man's been abusing her in the chat. What's his name? Black Gold Moolah. That's the problem.
I get
got Carmen all riled up. See,
but
it's his fault.
I get that, Gabe, but that was when we first started the conversation. The reason I wanted to take abuse out of it because I wanted to be able to have the conversation outside of abuse, right?
Money. So I'm saying money isn't always abuse. Sometimes it's struggle. Struggle is difficult. Struggle makes a marriage. I know certain married couples who have been in the marriage that both broke, had to go into file bankruptcy. Can't really maintain the household. Can't really pay for food. Struggle is hard. And it's difficult to struggle in the marriage.
See, it'd be different if I don't work with budgets, right? I don't want to get into it, but it is proven that if I have two struggling people, they gonna do better than one struggling person.
What is better?
Yeah, listen. So this idea that I'm gonna do better by separating for you, it's just a bad point. I don't care if he's only making 15,000 and she's making 10,000. They would do better together with 25,000 than one would do with 10,000.
A one bedroom household, right? A one bedroom household with one mouth to feed, with one everything to purchase is less expensive than if y'all are two people.
You're wrong.
Trying to maintain the house.
Gabe, listen, Gabe. I don't tell people they wrong most of the time. But it is proven that if we stay in the same house, that means we got one rent, right? We have one light bill. We have one of all these different things, right? If we all have one, it's going to be cheaper for us that have one than us to separate and both of us have our own. You disagree with that?
It just depends because it's like, why are y'all struggling? Struggling a lot of times comes from people who aren't really financially astute. So sometimes people gotta
separating don't solve that problem. See, the point is I'm telling you, no, us separating. Just really listen to what you say.
I hear what you're saying. You're saying you put two incomes together is more than just one.
I really think Tyler Perry messed a lot of people up. When Tyler Perry said I can do bad all by myself, it was just such a bad statement because I'm telling you, if both of y'all working at McDonald's and both of y'all guys are making 24,000, so that's 50,000. 50,000 for two people is a lot easier than one person with 24,000. Y'all need to take a single person.
A single person at their mama and daddy house is way better than y'all trying to struggle to live in an apartment or struggle to rent out a home. You might be able to rely on family resources more than relying on each other.
But so that's the point. I get what you're saying, but this is what I'm telling you. If I move back into my mama's house, my wife is coming to me. We still that's still an option of us staying together, living with my mama.
Listen. Money is the top reason for divorce. Money causes struggle, and then relationships break up because of that struggle. Struggle love ain't the way to go. Struggle love ain't the way to go. And also, maybe she could get with somebody who can cause her not to struggle. You thought about that? And is that selfishness? I don't know. It might be self-preservation. Like who want to be hungry and out and down bad in life? Life is too short to struggle for the entirety of it. That's all I'm saying.
But listen, but even in your theory that I can go get somebody better, right? Everybody think they can get somebody better until they get divorced. I don't think most people upgrade after they divorce. I just don't think that. Right?
Some say,
I think if we was to take majority of the divorcees, right?
Yeah.
And if we was to say, how many of you got somebody better? How many of you guys, was with this? And I know people say, well, Sierra might have upgraded. She is so uncommon, right? Well, she never was married, so that she won't be a good example. The thing is, this is what people don't understand. We supposed to build this thing together. So if we struggling together, you know what we need to do? We need to sit down, and security boss is 100% right. We need to sit down and say, you know what? You know, we struggling. We need to cut out them chips. We need to cut out them Debbie cakes. We need to go eat ramen noodles and peanut butters so that we can save to get out of this place. Separating it doesn't fix the problem. What you do, it makes you avoid the problem.
It can alleviate the problem too. It can listen. Go ahead, Karma. I see she came off of mute. She getting abused in the chat.
Tell me why I'm wrong, Karma.
I know y'all was a little distracted, so I heard what you said. No, I just don't like that. Like, you ain't about to keep. I jumped.
No, that's what I'm saying. He been going at you all night.
I never said nothing to this man a day in my life. And he talking about he making points. Nigga, you ain't made not one point, bro.
All he been saying was Cap. What's wrong with her?
Thank you,
trauma. That's all he been saying.
And I'm a
listen,
Black Gold Moolah. I'm a married man. I'm not trying to smash anybody on no panels. Calm down, brother. Just because you want to.
Listen, guys.
You love taps, Carmen, on the panel. Trying to get at you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This is what I'm telling people. I'm a strong advocate of this. If you're not the host, click on the private chat.
Yeah,
like click because it's so many times.
You're right, because you know what? I get triggered easily. Apparently.
See, now the hosts have to see what's going on in the chat because that's their responsibility. But if you typically having a conversation, if you click on that thing called private chat, you can kind of focus on what we talking about. Like
that chat be fun though, Eda, man. That chat be fun. Listen, that chat. Sometimes you want to interact. You want to dabble in the chat back and forth because the chat be fun. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes it be lit.
So one thing I want to say before we get up out of here, because it's about that time, right?
Okay, good. I gotta go pump at 12:30, y'all. I can't.
Yeah, so we getting close to that time. Security boss says this. I want Carmen to address this. The mindset need to change for marriage. So when you get into a marriage, I believe she's saying that you can't have that mindset that you're single anymore. You got to start thinking about moving as one unit in a team, right?
Yeah, because marriage is a unit. It's just because I don't subscribe to the idea of marriage does not mean I don't know what it is. Marriage is I say this all the time. A covenant.
Okay.
So again, I grew up Christian. I know what marriage is. Y'all are one. Y'all are together. That's what that is. That if you're getting married, that's what your mindset needs to be. So when I say if you have to leave out that mindset, I personally believe something serious done happened for you to break out of your covenant. That's been my whole point this whole time.
I get that, but don't you believe that when you have a child, you're becoming one?
Yes, but you can have a child and become one and still not be married though, either man.
So the reason I disagree with that is because it was a reason that before, if you was to have sex, you was considered married. I know we live in a modern world and we changed the rules, but I think that becoming one was also making one flesh, which was a child. So when we say that becoming one, you don't believe that include the children making?
Religiously, yeah. I mean, but you don't have to make a child to become one. I mean,
that's
biblically speaking.
I mean, like biblically you said earlier, you can shoot up the club.
Yeah,
I get that, but I think y'all guys are trying to go biblical, but I'm literally talking about literally, if we come together, if my sperm gets your egg and we make a baby, we became one.
Okay. Yes, but that happens in and out of marriages though.
But that's supposed to have been a representation of marriage. Us having kids supposed to have been a result of us already being one and us actually having a child. Do y'all disagree with that? Am I off? Tell me if I'm off.
I don't know. I think I'm just not I don't think you're off. I just probably don't think I'm understanding what you're saying. Like I don't think we're in disagreement. I think we're just coming at it from two different points, if that makes sense.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Like literally, yeah, y'all are creating sperm and egg combined equals human. So y'all are becoming a one thing. So literally, yeah.
So the point that I was making is we was never designed, in my opinion, to have kids outside of marriage. Like this was supposed to be something that married people does.
That's like it was. Like I said earlier, anybody can have a kid. It ain't never gonna go out of style.
I'm not saying
hold on, man. Let me make a little coy joke. So you saying nut magically becomes active when a ring get put on a lady finger? That's what
I'm not saying that at all. What we was designed to do versus what we do is two different things.
God put us on the earth and said, multiply and procreate. Then here come the 10 Commandments.
But he gave that commandment to two married people. When he said multiply, Adam and Eve was married.
It wasn't married. It wasn't nobody else. No,
it was married. Oh, I'm not
I'm joking.
So yeah, so the point comes. If we don't believe Adam and Eve,
he getting pissed. Like, what that mean?
No, it's
not. Pull out the holy water and the oil.
It's not that I'm getting pissed. It's just that it's some things that he didn't tell single people. It's clear in the Bible that he didn't tell single people that what they need to do is to have sex and do all this. That's not what happened.
Well, men could go into their concubines and create children.
But
that happened a lot.
But even concubines was considered wives.
David and Solomon haven't. Well, I know Solomon got married a lot of times, but David had a lot of kids. I don't know if they was all wives.
He was also the same person who saw that lady at the well and knew she was with multiple men and didn't judge her. And yet here we are today.
Are we talking about the woman that God called the dog?
Clearly not.
There you go. We're getting off subject here, but I hear
you know what? So let me get y'all guys' final thoughts before we get up out of here, right? So the final thoughts is, so do y'all believe that the children should live with the mother or the father?
I think it all depends. I think if safety is taken out of the picture, the kid's preference should be considered, but it shouldn't be the end goal. I do also think that there needs to be two very mature parents that are able to work together to raise a child, even if they're not together. And that's my final thoughts.
Carmen, what's your final thoughts? Do you believe, because I know it's getting that time that you got to get up out of here. Do you believe that, how do you believe that kids should be raised today? Within a marriage or just two? What do you see?
I feel like kids today need to be raised with two parents who are mature, who understand that their child is their first priority, whether they are married, which would be beautiful, or not. They both understand that they laid down and created this being together. So it's now their duty to make sure that this being is loved properly, taken care of properly, and looked after properly.
And do you believe that you feel that you're biased? Because I would honestly say that I'm.
Set that off rip.
You say yes?
I am biased. You ain't got to ask me. You ain't got to finish the question. I am biased. I already told y'all how I feel about marriage. I think it's a beautiful thing. I've never said not to. If it works for you, it works for you. But due to the people being forced to get married in my life, I'm cool. I'll get married if that's something I feel like I need to do. And if that's something I need to do, I understand that's a covenant I made between me, my husband, and God. So I'm going to do what I can do to do it. So I will make sure that I'm picking a person who I will be okay with doing that.
All right, I want to ask you more questions, but I know you got to go. I appreciate you coming over here. on the Either Man takeover on the
I
Aaron
mean, we
O
can
show.
talk in the back chat as long as you don't mind my pump.
Yeah, you could just give me a second. So first of all, guys, I want to appreciate all you guys coming over here to the Either Man Williams takeover over here on the Aaron O show. First time that I ran this show by myself. Make sure y'all guys comment on this video. Let us know if you liked it, some things that y'all guys will see. But I think we do have to start focusing on the kids and asking questions about what's going to put our kids in the best situation. I have no problem with people, shacking up and doing those things. But once you start bringing kids, I think you have a different level of responsibility to the family, if that makes sense. So one thing I want to tell you guys, I do have my own YouTube page. It's Either Man Williams. So go over to Either Man Williams, and what I do is I take these lives and I react and get my best parts on this show and many other shows. So make sure y'all guys subscribe to my page, and I really appreciate y'all guys coming over and support me today. Y'all guys have a great day.